Crap. Okay. Let me add you. Alright, sent it. Phone needs to go on mute. That was bad of me.
SandNinjas Academy, Team 1. Nope, Team 2. Team 1 is Delta.
Make sure you had the stream
Black
muted too.
Masu. Who is Black Masu? Talia. Is this the other SandNinjas?
I hear feedback from someone. Does someone have the stream unmuted?
No.
Nope.
Nope, that's me.
Oh, they're actually
Okay.
against... This isn't Academy, this is SandNinjas.
It's supposed
Okay,
to be Academy.
I looked up all the wrong players then. Well, the players are from SandNinjas, not from SandNinjas Academy.
Okay. Well, it was posted as SandNinjas Academy.
LOL.
Alright.
Copy paste
What's the problem going on? Too many. Oh, because they have their coaches.
Is there no more thoughts?
There's only 4 spectator positions. Well, this
Coaches
is
can watch the stream.
that'd be a little tricky.
Really?
All right. Well, introduction time since we're still prepping anyways. So, hello everyone. I am Astro Fry. I am casting alongside today Faker Fangirl and
Yes.
Mira B. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
So today we have possibly SandNinjas or Academy. We don't know yet. It's been said both so far, so I'm gonna wait until I hear something official.
It's gonna be a
Versus
three-way.
yeah, they will be going against Delta Independent today. So, how do you guys think about these teams? What do you guys think?
I know nothing
I
about
think-
SandNinjas.
I think this is actually going to be quite close, depending on, like, I looked up their ADC. There's an ADC called Kira, and, like, he seems to be a battery for the team, where if he gets going, the rest of the team kind of falls in place. So if he gets, like, a decent lead in his lane, then it should bode well for them.
I agree with Kira being able to carry. I think he has the potential to carry the team because he has the most games played out of anyone on his team. He's been very active this season and the past 3 seasons. So I think he's the person to look out for on Team Delta Independent. SandNinjas, though, just have the higher average MMR, so they're the favored in solo queue.
Okay, so we're still trying to figure out positioning here, as well as the coaching situation. Give us a moment. Won't be long.
The meta, too, though, is actually going to make things interesting, because today's the day before the new patch gets released, so I wouldn't be surprised if people try and exploit, like, some of the OP before they become less OP.
Who's getting
Yeah, it's very
moved?
possible.
Who's
Yes,
getting moved?
I don't want to go into too much or detail about that stuff because I prefer the audience. Well, I don't want to spoil it for the audience, but Garen's going to go down a bit. Kane is going to go way up, and then there's going to be a few other changes.
All right, so it looks like we're getting the coaching situation figured out now. Won't be long till we're getting inside the game. All right, I'm gonna ask you guys. Starting with Faker Fangirl, which team do you think will win this game? Game one.
SandNinjas. They just have the higher average MMR spread.
Okay.
Black Masu, strong player. Ninja, strong player.
All right.
Where is he?
Mirror B, what do you think?
Oh, they're not here.
See, for me, I expect the series to be incredibly close despite the MR shenanigans. But I'm under the impression that if Kira gets rolling, then things are going to bode well for them. So I'm going to go with the opposite.
Ooh, 1-for-1. All right.
Ninja is not here. He would be facing off against Kira, but I don't see him in the lobby. Looks like they have a
Could be a sub in.
There's only 4 players on each team.
Yes, my team that's not actually speak to me has told me that we might have a sub in. Yes.
An unofficial sub.
All right, so we have 1 for the Ninjas Academy, whatever, Academy or not Academy, I should say, and we have 1 for Independence. That's a tie vote. I'm gonna give my prediction and say, actually, that's a difficult one. I'm gonna roll with Delta Independent on this one. I'm gonna give them the edge. I think they might actually be able to pull out the win with teamwork and not individual talent. Just so everyone knows in the chat, I do have the chat up and I can see your messages. Thank you, Axman, for your kind words. Perks of being a streamer, I do have multiple monitors. So, I've got my caster's predictions. Now I want to get chat's predictions. Who do you think will take this game? We do not.
Junior Simplex, who is that? Is he a sub? Just a random.
You are the founder of SandNinjas. Okay, can you clarify for me real quick? Is it SandNinjas or SandNinjas Academy? Because if it's Academy, or if it's just regular SandNinjas, then I will have to take that Academy away.
I should change my stream title as well.
All right, it is Academy. Okay, so it looks like we do have Academy here. So you did look at the right information.
Then the spreadsheet is wrong.
Oh well. we'll rip her a new one later.
Yeah, gonna have to update the spreadsheet. All right.
Hmm.
Looking at the player names. AJ. Oh,
Still working on the coaching situation, everyone. We will be in game as soon as possible.
SandNinjas joined, and then they left, and now SandNinjas Academy is joining.
Hmm. That sounds complicated. All right.
Just to mess with us, right?
All right. So the problem is, okay. So the coaching issue looks like. Maybe next stream we'll have to find some music to kind of play in the background for now.
So we have a Kaisa main on each team. So I'm wondering who's going to get it.
Well, it's one of those things that typically when both teams have a main, it's either whoever gets the highest, or it usually becomes a fight of futility, so to speak, where they either ban it out directly, or if it becomes a super high priority, they first pick it for them.
Mm-hmm.
I think a
So
ban would be favorable for SandNinjas Academy because their secondaries are Caitlyn versus Vayne, and Caitlyn does pretty well against Vayne.
that being said, though, it could be one of those things where if they really wanted to set up Kira for success, they'd ban out all of the OP stuff and try and get him the best matchup possible. Because, as mentioned before, Kira tends to be the battery of the team. So, like, if you can kind of if you can set up the battery decent enough, then that thing becomes nearly unstoppable.
Solid strat.
Yeah, we also need to keep an eye on the junglers for both teams as well. You might put yourself in an unfavored matchup for laning phase specifically, but if it's a good pick later, you can have jungle support to kind of support you during that laning phase and make it not so much of a bad matchup, which will then extend to the later game where you can actually show off your talents and really get a lot of kills going.
Well, jungle is in itself right now is in a bit of a weird place because before it was dominated exclusively by tank characters like Sejuani, Gragas, that sort of thing. But now it's kind of died down a bit, so now it's more of an extreme early game focus. So you'll have things like Lee Sin roaming around, that kind of thing. So it's become a bit more diversified.
Hmm. We're just checking with the owner for now. See what he says. What we're gonna do here. So let's talk about the bot lane for a moment here while we have some time, because it seems like, you know, the meme of ADC in 2017, ADC in 2018, 2019, it's a big meme, but most of the competitive games that I watch end up revolving around the bot lane plays, since there are a lot of plays that go down there between mid roaming and top lane as well, TP playing.
Well, I'd actually argue that bot lane has gotten a lot better overall for people, because before it used to be exclusively only marksmen, but now with the introduction of mages and stuff, it's actually made a scenario where if you have a decent mage that you can play, then you can usually play bot lane. So it's become a lot more family friendly. Arena ban right off the bat is fascinating.
Ban against Wang Ladang.
Alright, we're in Chance Left so far. We got Vladimir, Katarina banned on the left side here. We got Nico and Sejuani.
So far,
all of these bans so far make me think that they're gonna first pick Kaisa.
Who dares? Delta is definitely target banning. They have looked up their opponents and are banning all their mains.
Think carefully.
Alright, well, SandNinja Academy does have the first pick here, so we'll see if they want to pick up that Kaisa, or if maybe they might have a counter pick in mind.
It's either Kaisa or it's going to be Xayah right here, because both those picks are extremely overpowered on this patch.
Could look to grab a jungler here as well. We'll have to see what they take here.
Aether Fist is substitute.
The Mundo.
That is extremely interesting. Mundo is not something you normally see prioritized that much, mostly because of the fact that it's expunged quite a bit. Even with the buffs they did a few patches ago that increased the amount of healing on his ultimate, he's still one of those characters who's actually incredibly punished by Grievous wounds.
Indeed, and you can see there's the Kai'Sa pick coming in, as well as the Zac.
Part of me thinks, like, based on these two picks, though, the Kai'Sa and the Zac, they're going to be going exclusively for team fighting. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up prioritizing Rakan after this.
It looks like they'll have a scary late game. Mundo's not to bring too much utility to team fights.
Well, even their mid-game fight is going to be quite interesting, because you get Kai'Sa on one item, you get Zac on one item, and you just go to town. Meanwhile, Nautilus and Kled is pretty fascinating. That's almost exclusively going to be a Kled mid lane.
Now, I want to point something out here. Just seeing 3 out of 5 of their draft for SandNinjas Academy, they have a run you down composition. You have the Kled ulti, you have the Nautilus hooked and ulti, and you have the Mundo who's going to be extremely fast and run you down. How do you guys feel about this comp so far?
I
do not like that one bit. Like, I see Kled, I see Nautilus, and my first immediate thought is they're going to need high DPS from ADC. Like, that Ezreal ban kind of makes sense, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just take Xayah soon. Because they have to get through Galio, they have to get through Zac, and then they have Kai'Sa, like, basically on the back line. So this right here is going to be either Xayah or Vayne.
How do you protect an ADC from Zac?
Alternative.
Well, there's the Xayah ban.
Sharpening my feathers.
ADC pool has actually been pinched quite a bit, because you could even technically call Nico's one of an ADC flex pick.
I don't agree with
Continue talking, we have a mix up.
Yeah, meanwhile, though, the mid lane matchup is, assuming this Galio is in fact mid lane, it's going to make things pretty interesting, because normally Kled just dumpsters most tanks early game, even with the Galio buffs.
Okay, I want to apologize real quick. I did have the teams on the wrong sides. It is actually Team Delta on the left here.
Correct.
Ooh.
And the Vayne comes through. This could work with the composition very well, actually.
See, part of me really wants to see Rakan right now. Like, if they grab Rakan, if that is in fact a Nautilus jungle, I'll be extremely happy. Or Kled jungle.
This could be it, and yeah, that should be an Anivia support, actually.
Or that could be a triple flex. It could be Kled jungle and Anivia mid, and just have Nautilus support. It could also be Kled top and then Dr. Mundo jungle, which is actually pretty decent from what I've heard.
Well, we also can see it could also be Anivia mid and Mundo top, more likely. We'll have to see what they pick here. And Alistar? What we picked up here?
It's comp I extremely like. Because Alistar, like, even with, typically when people think Alistar, they think, oh, like, he's kind of like Gragas. He can do the whole knock-up shenanigans. Like, if you think about it, Yasuo in this comp would work quite decently, but I personally like with the Galio as well, because it's basically a protect the Kai'Sa comp, and the other team, well, if they don't, or if they like stall out, they're just going to lose early.
We will be hitting our 3-minute spectator delay very soon, so we'll have 3 minutes to go ahead and talk about these two teams and how we feel this game is going to play out. But just looking at the comps right now, I mean, that is a run-you-down composition right there.
Yeah, SandNinjas Academy, I really love their comp. If the game goes on for too long, I think they'll be unstoppable. Now, Mundo, though, does have a lot of split-pushing potential. That might be the strat.
See, I slightly disagree with you on that. I personally think that Delta is, well, they don't really have the timer working against them, whereas SandNinjas Academy does. Like, SandNinjas Academy right now, they want to get one item and just go. Whereas if the other team, like, if they can stall out that point, like, what is Renekton going to do to Mundo? Not much. What is the Kai'Sa going to do to Mundo? Not much. Like, they're kind of lacking in damage aside from the Kai'Sa.
But they don't have to focus Mundo because they also have a lot of dive.
They have a lot of dive, true, but it's one thing to dive, but it's the other thing too if you don't really have damage attached. Like right now, their only damage source is Kaisa, and even then, she can just get walled off by Nivea. So it's gonna make things quite interesting come mid game.
Anivia's gonna have a lot of. She's gonna have to put down some good walls.
I will be completely honest. I don't really like the Anivia pick in this composition. I just don't feel it really benefits the rest of the team comp the way it needs to.
I slightly understand it because it's one of those things where you're going to have Zach, Galio, and Recton diving in. So if you can separate the Kais from that, then they literally do no damage. So the whole idea is that you're going to have those three jumping in. Then you put a Nivea wall in her ulti, and what can Kaisa really do to them?
Yeah, and Anivia can interrupt Galio ult, right?
I think so. I'm not too experienced.
If you can CC Gallo before he jumps, yeah.
Like if you can CC him, sure. I'm just not sure about afterwards. Like I know she can stomp the top with his Q or with her Q.
Yeah, once he's up in the air, that ulti is going out for sure. But you can stop him from finishing his ultimate with your stun, or you can throw up a wall real quick just to displace him. Knock him right out of it.
Overall, though, like I want to say, it's one of those things where the early game is going to be incredibly interesting because Mundo isn't necessarily known for his game potential. He's basically the whole idea is that you pop W and then you just have an incredibly fast wave clear with the talisman. So it's going to be interesting to see once Zach hits level 5, gets like 3 points in his E, like what he does. Because if he can influence lanes, then it should make mid game incredibly difficult.
All right, we have 15 seconds left to go. We will be getting in soon, and chat is saying we have a remake.
What? A remake? No.
We'll have to take a minute to figure this out, but it's very possible we do have a remake. Okay. So it looks like the AD carry for Delta was not able to change their runes properly, and you can clearly see that with the electrocute there. So it will be a remake. We're gonna go ahead and start over. I would assume it will be same compositions.
I think that's
I am new here, so I'm not sure exactly what the rules are for this specific tournament style, but
I
if
will
there is
say
a
this though,
remake-
if the rest of the runes are indeed true, then this Mundo rune is actually quite interesting. He went fleet footwork, so he's obvious. For the most part, he's probably gonna go for one of those sustained farm until 6 kind of things, kind of like Nocturne.
Okay. All right. Well, go ahead and drop out of the game, guys. Maybe the runes for the AD carry were good. I can only imagine an electrocute vein. That sounds scary.
Like, there's one thing that I've learned from playing quite a few off-meta things. It's don't knock it until you try it.
This is very true. I can agree with that. There are some crazy picks out there and crazy rune pages I've seen that actually work out pretty well.
Like, I remember, I think it was last year where people were saying, oh, ADCs, like, they're pretty weak. And then all of a sudden you saw things like Ezreal Jungle pop up.
What?
Or this may have been 2 years ago, I think.
I was not there for that.
All right.
I know when Ezreal came out, he was like way overpowered and his W was a heal.
Yes, this was around the time where, right before they reworked his W. And he ended up becoming, I'm pretty sure it was at Worlds. I'm not sure if it was last year or the year before. But it was one of those things that was quite fun to watch.
All right, well, we are going to wait for some invites, and we'll get this game started again. Should be pretty quick. They know what the bans are. They know what the picks are. So we'll fly right through it and hopefully get going with the actual...
Round 2.
Interesting. It's not what I'm used to either. Most of the tournaments I casted for, the general rule is if you make a mistake during champ select, as far as room pages and such like that, that is how you play. You don't get to remake that. But every tournament is different, so this is a new one for me.
See, for me, when I played, it was one of those kind of honor roll things where if both teams agreed to it, it was fine. But it was one of those things where if a team disagreed with it, then like the other teams would tend to be less inclined to do it for them, kind of thing. So
I personally never allow my opponents to make any mistakes, and I'll like hold the rules against them. But there'll always be someone on my team who's like, "Oh no, let it fly. It's fine. Remake." So I get overruled.
see, for me, it's the exact opposite. Like I want to beat them at their best, like with everything perfect, because it makes the victory all the more appetizing. Like if you beat somebody via technicality, then that just sucks. Like, oh, I meant to do this. Like you want to give them as little excuse as possible, so that when you do beat them, it's like, well, you have no more corners to kind of hide in.
True.
Oh, that didn't go through. Is it okay? Can I accept your friend request? Yeah. What is your name? Probably at the bottom here. I'm assuming. No, you're not actually. Ah, Talia. Hello. Gotcha. Thank you. All right, so I should be getting an invite here shortly, and I'll grab you guys in as well. And we'll get the ball rolling again.
Yeah, overall though, like getting back to the draft thing, it's also another slightly interesting thing to because you have a low damage AP jungler, you have a low damage AP mid, and then you have a Mundo who's, well, if he typically sees even one half AP character, he's always happy building a Spirit Visage. So it's one of those things where like Mundo is just going to become incredibly obnoxious if he ever makes it to late game.
All right, let's pop in invites now. Oh, I might have to reinvite you. Hold on. Can I jump down? Okay, invite you. All right, jump on down here. All right, cool. All right, everyone seems to be in their roles, and looks like we're prepped to get inside. All right, so they confirm we will be same band, same picks.
Absolutely.
So we're just gonna fly through this real quick. Feel free to talk about what we were talking about before we figured out that it was a remake.
Delta
Is that fear I
on the
smell?
left, SandNinjas Academy on the right.
Yes.
SandNinjas
Thank you.
Academy takes a lot of crowd control.
Yeah, it's the typical early game versus late game shenanigans. Mind you, it's one of those things where, well, in the competitive, especially at Worlds right now, what you're typically seeing is whoever has the better late game wins. But in solo queue, it tends to be who has the easier competence to win. So which is kind of one of the reasons that I'm a bit scared for Delta in this draft.
We do have a lot of early game pressure in the top lane, though, so I want to actually keep an eye on that lane and see how things play out. Pretty rough lane for Kled.
It's a slightly rough lane, but at the same time, it's one of those things where realistically, Kled should never technically die in this matchup because he has too many things to get out.
All right, we're halfway through. Taking a little while.
Do not confuse cowardice for wisdom.
Fine, I'll just be over here, sharpening my feathers.
So close, just a couple more picks. There's the Kaisa. There's the Vayne. Not yet. There we go. There's the Vayne.
I do wish that people would respect Galio players more because it's difficult
I have
to...
no.
Hmm?
Or go on with your thing.
So picks like Galio, Amumu, you have to wait until late game until you can start making plays, and once you hit that late game, like team is grouped, you're ready to start a wombo combo, and your teammates don't give you that respect. They're not ready to follow up. They're just kind of hanging around. Support is off farming and face checking, and so it's hard to pick a Galio into solo queue.
I slightly disagree with that, though. The whole idea that Galio is late game, like especially now, typically what you do is you rush like one item and then you just abuse your ultimate. Like once you hit level 6, you just pop into a side lane bush and they have to worry about whatever side you go on, even if you're only like going down the river, put a ward. Like he's in a way he's kind of like TF, except his ulti is way more powerful. Because like TF only brings the dude there, whereas Galio brings the dude and a giant knockup around him.
All right. Well, we are in our spectator delay. Honestly, this game looks like it's going to be great. I mean, it's got a nice mix of both early game and late game. But what I'm really interested to see is there's a lot of playmakers in this team. For Team Delta, you have a Kled, you have the ultimate for Kled, you have the Nautilus hook as well as the ultimate engage, and on the side of SandNinja Academy, you have this Renekton frontline that can just really dive in there and soak up a lot of damage while also dealing damage. You have the Zac who can jump from a far range. You have the Galio ulti on top of that that also can proc on top of the Zac. You have the Kaisa ultimate that can dive in, and as well as the Alistar. I'm really favoring SandNinja here if they get to late game.
Ultimately, though, the pressure is going to be entirely on the Zac, because if he doesn't get his lanes rolling early, then he's just going to get massively outscaled. Because Anivia is going to outscale Galio, Mundo is going to be an impenetrable wall, so to speak, and then you have Vayne just free shotting people with true damage.
Yes, individually they do outscale.
Like it's one of those things where normally I don't say the pressure is entirely on one person, but this Zac needs to pull up huge in the early game. Like if he doesn't start ganking immediately once he points 3 points in E, then they're just gonna get obliterated.
Well, we'll have to see how this goes down. Both junglers gonna have a big job for them. Need to keep an eye on these lanes.
For the most part with Mundo, though, typically his whole idea is gonna be to farm. Because like Mundo is one of those characters who, yes, he has a slow on his Q, and yes, he has a decent amount of damage with his his E giving bonus attack damage. It's one of those things where he's not so much like he's not going to really help the lane so much because like Anivia brings very little gank assist early. She has like maybe her Q for CC. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when both junglers hit level 6, because I wouldn't be surprised if Mundo just runs by and abuses the Nautilus ultimate.
I'm curious to see how Alistar reacts to a hard engage from their jungler, because he can function as a disengage during team fights.
Well, for the most part, that's probably going to be his entire job this game, because if Kaisa dies at any moment, they literally have no damage. So he typically what you'd see, there are like 2 different playstyles for melee supports. It's either go in and be the front line or just stick next to the ADC, kind of like Soraka, and push enemies. So I wouldn't be surprised if this Alistar tends to be more in the latter category, where he doesn't so much like go in front and do the engaging. He just sits next to Kaisa and just like, boop, you're gone, that kind of thing.
I'm hoping that's what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like you said, you know, Kaisa is really the only damage on this team. And while Renekton can do a lot of damage if it can get ahead early, it is really going to fall into the Kaisa late game to get the damage out, and it's going to fall into the rest of the team to make sure that Kaisa is safe the entire fight. And we are now loading into the game. Once again, I'm going to switch the teams over because that was not accurate.
Okay, I am interested by this. This Galio has Electrocute into a range versus melee matchup. Typically, it's not something you don't see every day. Like, normally you see Aftershock, and then there's the occasional comment if you want to get extremely creative, but I'm surprised by this Electrocute pick.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Zach doing the classic thing of starting with no items.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Go big.
I feel so bad for this Zach right now. He has no items.
Oh no.
Both teams.
You hate to see it, guys.
It's sadly not the first time that's happened, and it's never going to be the last either.
Okay, he is backing, so it looks like he's going to pick up his items now.
Yeah, that would have been sad, seeing him clear blue buff and only get like 20 experience for it.
Olivia, what's your name? Imaginable? It's hard to pronounce. Seems to be
Imaginable.
Blue buff start.
I'm a Jin. That's what I'm gonna call him.
Mundo starting on his red side is actually pretty standard though, because he'll do this, then he'll get his W, and then he'll just put Raptors in like 2 seconds. Oh wow, skipping Raptors entirely. Meanwhile, Zach also started on the top side near his red buff. He's probably gonna go, yep, he's gonna go red straight into Krug, and he's gonna do the standard full clear thing.
Trading pretty Ignite used.
Or no ignite, both laners have TP. Kled has to be careful though, because if he saw that Zach's our top side, then he could barely easily get camped.
He is low. Getting close to his rage bar. He might be able to outplay it.
Like, Zach isn't making a push for this right now, but it's
Here
one
we
of those
go.
things where he always has to be scared about this, because he could very easily have a giant blob flying into his...
We're gonna be dropped down the top side. Kled did have a good trade there. Was able to dismount properly.
Also, a really good trade by Galio there, getting an Nibby under... Oh,
We got a fight going down the top lane. Alistar's gonna get a double knockup. We got a fight going down the top side as well. Renekton actually trading pretty successfully. Gonna knock him off. Gonna dash out. Is he gonna get out though? He's not gonna get out. It's gonna be first blood over to the Kled.
okay, that's actually pretty huge for the bot lane right now. Because it's one of those things where they have the stand advantage, because Nihilus has 1 extra biscuit. So, oh, meanwhile, Galio.
Oh, we do have a gank coming into mid lane. Slow is going to land from the Mundo. Can they keep chasing him down? Does have flash available. Going to use the taunt to find some time. Not going to flash in time, though. He's going to go down.
This is huge. Because, much like what I said earlier about the fact that one team is kind of on a timer, that timer just got, like, killed by, like, 5 minutes.
What's your game time right now?
Mine is 350.
Okay.
152.
I will speed it up real quick, because I'm a little bit behind. Not by much.
Yeah, it's one of those things though where bot lane is actually, despite not looking ahead, they're actually somewhat ahead. Well, the bot lane for Delta at least, because they have an extra couple of biscuits.
Yeah. Do you have just a little bit over 1k gold lead on the side of Team Delta?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel bad for this Renekton right now. He's getting zoned from CS, and like it's one of those things where like you just kind of feel bad for him, like unable to really, like if he goes up to the wave, he's just gonna get chunked out. But at the same time, like he kind of needs gold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a big deficit at top lane. He's going to be able to pick some of the CS up under the tower, though, so it won't be too far behind. Nautilus actually going to grab the hook and go in. Zach is here.
This
It is a
is
4v3.
that was
It's the 3v3 right now. Nautilus getting very low. Knight, no, down. Kill's going to go over. It is now a 3v2. Ignite is taking, not going to do a whole lot. They are going to grab 1 kill for themselves.
yeah, and they traded 2 for 3 in the summer advantage, so it's actually a net positive for them, even if the kill went on support there.
Well played from SandNinjas.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they need to do right now. They need to look for these plays. They need to be proactive and not let themselves fall behind.
What they need to do is they need to start funneling gold into that Kaisa, because if she falls behind as well, then they realistically stand no chance.
We'll have to look to see how this game plays out. Mostly even down the line as far as CS numbers go. Top lane going to be down a little bit. Not too much. Keep in mind too, first Elemental Drake is an Inferno Drake, so both teams are definitely going to want to get this for their sides. A little bit of trading going on in the top lane here, but nothing's too big. We're actually going to get the bigger trade out of that.
Jungler's approaching.
You could see a 2v2 in the top lane. Mundo opting to get the scuttle.
See, it's one of those things I kind of feel bad for Zach now.
Yeah.
Because, like, he can't gank mid because Anivia is just going to be able to run away easily, and he doesn't really have any assists. Top lane, he can't gank Skleds under tower, and then bot lane, he can't really do much either.
So what do we feel the next play needs to be for SandNinjas Academy to pull themselves out?
For me, it's one of those things where I'd like to see them set up around the Infernal, because if they manage to get a few of those, it will counteract a bit of the late game shenanigans going on.
We do have an all-in going in here in top lane. He's going to get this mounted. One more hit will do it. And we're actually going over to the mid lane now. Get some trading going on. Not too much. Looks like it's going to be this mount in top lane, but nothing more.
Here comes the blob.
We do have a gank coming into the bottom. Mundo is very strong. And we got a fight to go to top lane, though. Klez just going to go down. Very good job. Good decision making by the Zach to recognize there's nothing he can do in the bot side while there's a play going on, but he can make a play happen in the top side and actually earn his team a kill. And we still got more going on here. Alistair very low. Red buff is taken down, and I'm going to keep him slowed. Getting very low here. Nivea is actually going to get a kill. On the other side, it's going to go to the Kaisa. We had the ultimate coming in for Yale, but nothing going to happen.
Alistair lived through that. That is actually pretty huge. Because Alistair was only level 5 there, so he didn't actually have ulti. So, like, if he had died there and given the kill to the Mundo, that actually would have been pretty nice.
Absolutely.
Like, now they're starting the Dragon Point, which, as mentioned before, is a pretty big deal. Like, if they get a few of these Infernals, then it's gonna counteract a bit of the late game stuff.
That is very huge, and critically, Kaisa did get the kill in that last interaction there, so that will help them a lot.
Kaisa has the kill, but she's down 10 CS, so the bot lane lead is actually, it's pretty close. Like, I have to check, but I'm pretty sure it's only about 200 gold between them.
I would toggle that, but I forgot what the toggle was. And looks like we do have a pause going on here, and support seems to have disconnected. So we will be back shortly once they are back So let's talk about the game right now. Right now, the kills are 2-3 in favor of SandNinja Academy. They do have an Inferno as well as a kill on their Kaisa. But like you said, not much of a lead going on in the Kaisa right now. But they are a scaling team. They're looking to try to kind of stick it out. But as we said earlier, Kaisa is kind of going to be the damage dealer right now. And Renekton is actually behind quite a bit in his top lane. So he will not be able to dish out a ton of damage. So it really does put more emphasis on protecting this Kaisa and making sure she can get her job done and get the damage out.
SandNinjas Academy in the red. Their bot lane, all their summoner cooldowns are down. Vayne and Nautilus could make a play with their spells.
Vayne still has Flash, Heal, and Nautilus still has Ignite, so it's actually pretty huge. Like, she's going to have a
Vayne
1 or
just
2
needs
minute,
more
or
items.
1 minute. Vayne's going to have like a 1 minute timer where she can very easily just 1v1.
Alright, and we are back. Sport is back. A little mishap there, but game is resumed now.
And Vayne gets a build water. Looks like he might be going for a play. Nope.
This is it. Well, it's not too surprising. She's going to get Blade of the Rune King eventually. I'm not too sure about her runes at all, but she could very easily have the free boots as well.
Now take a look at this top lane too. You can see the itemization coming out from both of them. You have a Phage for the Renekton who's actually behind right now, where the Kled is actually going for more of a tanky build. And we actually have a gank coming in. Mundo is going to come in, not going to actually land the slow, so Renekton should be able to get out of here pretty healthy.
It actually makes quite a bit of sense though, because if you're behind, then you don't really have a. It's one of those things where if you're ahead, then you could use the push from Tiamat, but if you're behind, then it won't really matter too much. So I actually prefer the extra health with the Phage.
That's actually kind of lucky. It's lucky for Delta because Nautilus missing that push. I thought they didn't overextend.
It's one of those things though, where at the same time, like Zach being well in, much actually very quite a bit.
Oh, we got another trade go down. Right, an aggressive trade. Renekton's gonna get out of there. Sliver health.
And
The dismount is out though. Oh no, the face check for the support. You can't see him coming out. He's gonna flash it. And that's all they're gonna get out of it there. Got aggressive trade going down though. He's not gonna actually get a remount. That's gonna be a kill going over it.
that is pretty huge as well. Yeah, I played with Bramble Vest. That's actually quite interesting. Like, I'm thinking.
Oh, we got a big play going on the bot lane here. It's 3v2. Critical ultimate by the Zac there, and that's going to be a kill for sure. Going over to the Zac. Nautilus is here as well as the Mundo. Can they trade another kill over? No. Alistar's going to say no. Step away. They're going to keep trying to chase Zac going in. Going to miss everything here. Alistar going to slow down a little bit. We got JP coming in. Kled is coming. Can they get this kill? Looks like it's going to go down. Ignite is taken. It's going to go over to the Mundo. Mundo's still in. Kled as well. Trying to get this Alistar. It's going to be a double kill going up to the Mundo. Ultimate is in from the Galio. He's coming in. He's going to knock up. That's going to be another third kill going over. Two more members left. Very low health by double kill going over to the Renekton. Just surely going to get a triple kill. Are they going to let him get it? He's going to get the triple kill onto the
Oh, his
Renekton.
arc down here.
One more coming. Can he get the kill? He is going to be able to snipe that out.
Oh, he got one. That's actually.
Can he
Pretty
chase
massive.
this down? Low health bars right now. If he can land the stun, he will not. And that's going to be all. Wow.
Such a trip.
Overall, though, let me see. It was like a 4 for 4, I think. Or no, 4 for 3.
Yeah, it was a 4 for 3 in favor of SandNinjas. That was actually an extended fight that I was not expecting.
I really
and-
love Marquez engaged there with the teleport.
It was a 4 for 3, but at the same time, it's one of those things where you kind of have to, like, if you're Delta right now, you're actually not too disappointed by that because you got a bunch of extra kills on your Mundo, and he's just gonna wreck base layer on. Like,
And Keely, take a look at the top lane now. Where I did say the Renekton was behind, he is now 4-2-1 with a 300 gold bounty. Looking very good for him in this lane now. We're slowing down the map again.
Heading down bot.
Does look like they want to make a play here. It's going to land the W here. Alice are looking to actually CC this Nautilus, and Kaisa going a little aggressive on the Vayne. Not gonna quite get anything. Nautilus actually gonna go down. He's gonna pop the ult. He's gonna knock out the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa looking to try to get out, but the red buff slow is not gonna be too much. And she's gonna go down. Alistar trying to get away. Does have a stun. Could have popped it on the Mundo, but he's not going to even do that. It's gonna be a kill going over to the Vayne here. Galio trying to get out. Does have a little bit of CC, but he's surely to go down too. Double kill going over to the Vayne.
Okay, that is huge right now.
What a play!
Like, if you want to press X to go over to the gold grabs right now, like, Vayne literally just gained 1,000 gold and is now almost dead even with Kai'Sa right now.
It is incredible. The differences in gold now was mostly even throughout the game, and suddenly the gold differences are just changing drastically. Is a Mountain Drake going over now? Seems like it'll be pretty free for them.
Well, right now Delta has a 1,200 gold lead, but at the same time that includes the fact that our next one is 1,000 gold.
Oh, we have a TP coming in.
Oh.
SandNinja Academy looking to make something happen after this dragon was taken under their belt. Nothing had happened.
Nautilus throwing out what was a pretty scary hook there, like one of those things where you hope it doesn't land, so to speak.
I want to point out they did actually trade objectives, so it wasn't a complete loss there. And depending on how they set this down, they could actually get an advantage off of this.
They did get the Herald, but it's one of those things where typically you use Herald for plates, but because the plate, the quote-unquote plate phase is over with, it's one of those things where I'm going to be interested to see where he uses it. Like, he can't use it mid because the Nvidia has a permanent wave clear, so he may just end up using it top.
I'd like to point out that there's some good communication from their jungler, Mundo. When he did come bot to gank, he recognized that Olivia was securing kills.
I feel bad for this.
Imagine to go ahead and dive the tower with him. Otherwise, that tower dive kill would not have happened without
As Zach's coming in on the support, that is ultimate use from the Galio, and that is a kill going right over to the Galio.
It's a kill, but at the same time, it's one of those things where I kind of feel they may have wasted too much on that. Like, the Galio ultimate alone is like a 2.5 minute cooldown at this rank, so it's one of those
Wait
things
on
where...
that. We might have a play coming. They suspect it.
Oh.
They do have a ward to spot it out, and nothing's actually going to happen.
Oh.
Continue, sorry.
No, I was just interested to see because it's one of those... Okay. Oh, Vayne almost got cut out. That was scary. And it's one of those things where you always gotta be fearful of the ADCs this game.
Alright. So Renekton is the one sitting on this Rift Herald, aka Shelly. I want to see them actually get a pick here before they drop it down. Yeah.
Meanwhile, jungle ADC is roaming up. Jungle ADC and support. It'll be interesting to see where they go with this, because right now Galio has no ulti, so their engage is pretty limited.
They're clear. Nothing to do with the jungle. What is Mundo gonna build?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Warm Out and the Spirit Visage, because right now...
Excellent choice.
Yeah, Warm Out is kind of obvious with the Cinder Hulk. You just gain a crap ton of HP off that. It's... Well, trade top lane.
We do have an aggressive trade, yeah. Not gonna quite dismount. That's actually not a bad trade for the Kled there. We have a little bit going down in the bot lane. Not gonna go force with that one. Not enough CC going down.
It's one of those things that where once Mundo builds a Spirit Visage, they have like
hold that thought. Mundo's in the top side. Gonna force out the flash from Renekton. The land is slow, get a bit more damage out, but looks like he's gonna live through this one.
Oh, Mundo has to be careful because even he cannot last underneath the tower for too long.
Galileo actually going in, looking for an all-in right here. Not gonna get the knock up, but he's getting close to a kill. Might actually get traded back here. Nivea gonna get the slow on him. Galileo trading back. Galileo not gonna quite go down. Alistar is here. He's slightly tanky, not quite enough to tower dive quite yet.
And Nivea still has egg though, so that was pretty generous, so to speak. Like at worst, or at best, Galileo pops passive.
Rift Herald is summoned. Kled is in the top. Looks like he's recalling. No, he's
If
gonna
I
stay.
had to guess based on the cooldowns, the Rift Herald was popped kind of at the timer, so like at the last possible moment. It's still somewhat useful though.
Oh, it is
Still
gonna
no
be first
towers
turret.
right now. Oh,
First turret
never
for
mind.
them. Yep. Delta, Independent wasn't gonna get the first tower there, but they will trade back some of that gold on the other side of the map.
Meanwhile, one of the Phantom things going on, like one of the things that you wouldn't expect, this Anivia is 1,300 gold up over Galio, which is pretty massive.
It looks like your predictions are coming true this time. Team Comp, you're taking a nice gold.
Well, kinda. It's one of those things where now they've kind of hit a point where they're like, the Zac kind of missed his window to engage, so to speak. So it's going to be interesting to see how they actually fight these comps.
Okay, so we do have another pause here. Looks like on the other side, the AD carry is having an issue this time. Actually, it was the support last time, but the AD carry for SandNinja Academy looks like they're having some lag issues. So we're gonna take a moment to inspect that and see if we can get that. A couple of things I want to point out. We do have a Cloud Drake up, which a lot of people meme about it. It's not the best dragon, yes, but it is actually pretty good. And I gotta say, if Team Delta Independent can get this on their side, that will benefit their team composition very much.
It's one of those things, though, where I'm kind of interested to see where this game goes, because I'm kind of under the impression that what do you call it? There's the Sand Academy, like, their window's kind of passed, so like they had early game, but now the fact they don't have like a 2 or 3k gold lead doesn't exactly bode well for them.
Yeah, it is about a K difference right now for both teams. Not too much to be concerned about. Cloud Drake is up.
SandNinjas Academy buying a lot of wards. Looks like they want map control. And if you look at their items, a lot of single target damage, not a lot of stuff to counter Mundo. So it looks like they might be able to die.
It's one of those things where I wouldn't be surprised if Tyson builds a bork this game, like a Blade of the Rune game.
Yeah, I'm definitely against that item for Kaisa, except in this specific situation, yeah, you have a pretty tanky front line there, and you gotta be able to cut through that.
Well, it's one of those things where if Kaisa doesn't build that item, then no one is killing Mundo this game.
Food for thought, if you will. Oh, wait. We have an extended trade going on. Clad's about to dismount here. He will dismount now, and that is going to be the ulti pasta for Renekton. And this is just a free kill. That's flash used by the Clad, and he's actually going to go wait. I think Renekton could have chased that and actually gotten the kill.
That was actually a huge outplay. Yeah. Props to the Clad for that one. It is hard to do that under that much pressure.
Indeed. Alright, we are past the 20-minute marker, so Baron is on the table, and you can see no vision around it from either team. Zach's jumping in. That's going to force a flash out of the vein, but might get more off this. Alistar going to get in. Going to get a double knockup. Kaisa going in. Going to pass him. And the shutdown going over to the Zach right now. Nautilus is going to get out of there with his shield and be safe. Nothing to be answered. That's a kill going over to Kaisa. Zach, sorry.
Nautilus seems to ult at the end of the fight after Vayne has died.
We'll have to keep track of that one for sure.
3.5 minutes to Infernal as well, which again is pretty huge. Because it's one of those things, I mentioned this earlier, if the Sand Academy, if they get triple Infernal, then it may be able to counter the Nibia and Vayne late game.
Oh, the word survives with 1 kill.
Oh, you hate to see it. And look, take a look at the gold lead again. It is now about 22 minutes in the game, and the gold is relatively even again.
It's pretty even, but that being said, though, it's also one of those things where, comp-wise, I'd much rather be Delta, right? Like the fact that they're actually like pretty even in this matchup, like in normal circumstances, they could
Hold the thought. We have a dive going down to bot lane. We're actually gonna pop his ulti, but it's not gonna be enough. Shutdown's gonna go over to the Nautilus, actually. Galley ultimate gonna gun him down. They're looking for more. They might try to get the Galley. He's gonna actually CC them on the tower. His health is going down. One more shot, and that's gonna be the kill gonna defeat. Oh, we have the re-engage, though. Alistar is here. Only gonna get one. Nice flash Q. Not gonna get enough CC, though. He's actually gonna go down pretty quickly here. That's gonna be a kill going over to Kira. Looking for more. Zach getting poked down a lot. That's a lot of damage. Passive is going to be proc. You got to know he's going down very quickly here. Shut down goes to the Nivea.
See, if I were them, I'd just turn on Baron right now.
Baron is on the table. Looks like they might go for the here.
Like, even with the somewhat low HP bars, they have Bane who basically does 3 damage.
No vision either on their side. SandNinja Academy has no idea this is happening, but it's a free Baron going over to Team Delta.
Well,
He won't even need it.
Yeah, it's actually up for another 20.
Well, boys. Remember I was just talking about that even gold for each team? What happened to that?
What is it that
5k difference now. And Kled getting dashed down again, and that's going to be a Kled ultimate used to get out to safety. Perfectly executed. Perfect time.
From what I can tell, though, it looks to be that the AEC for Sand Academy is having issues right now with the internet. So they're just getting that figured out right now.
Sadly, I'm going to use this time to actually scale down my chat, because it's way too big.
It's one of those things where if you want to press X and go back to the whole gold thing, like,
yeah,
all of the gold that Delta wants is on their carriers right now. Like, they don't care about the 700 deficit top when you have a Vayne that's 1400 ahead of Kaisa, you have Nivea that's like 2100 ahead of Galio. Like, yeah. And there's even Ludo, which is pretty good.
Going full AD.
Well, sort of. Typically, the build is, or it's cleaver into what do you call it, the Spear of Shojin for team fight stuns.
You gotta think, though. I mean, with the way the competition is, with the lead that Team Delta has on their side, Renekton, I feel you just need to get a straight tank item right now, just so you can survive these fights and kind of be that front line your Kaisa needs.
See, what they need to do is they're kind of in a scenario, I like to call it quote-unquote Alamo mode. So they kind of have to figure out a way, like, it's basically them, like, backs against the wall, like, what you call it, like, what's his name? The guy with the raccoon skin hat or whatever, or Bowie. So they're kind of like back against the wall, and they have to try and figure out, like, the perfect way to hold off all of the angry hostiles.
Oh.
That's kind of where Sand Academy is right now.
What's the cooldown on?
And if I remember correctly, I think it's like 80 seconds on rank 2, and then it goes down to 60 at rank 3, but I'm not entirely certain about that.
Yes, it does have quite a bit of cooldown reduction right now in his build, so it's gonna be less than that.
10%.
20. He does have a ruby crystal. Oh, I'm sorry.
It is 10% from the Warmugs.
Kindle gem.
Oh,
It's a Kindle gem and spirit, so it's gonna be 20.
Plenty of time left on Baron. I hope they do something with this.
No. Oh, that's actually a ruby crystal, so it's not. Yep, he only has 10% right now. Yeah, you're looking at Zach's items.
Yo, you were right. I was looking at Zach's items. My mistake. We were talking about the Renekton?
Yeah.
So he should have 30.
Yep.
Yes. That's a lot of cooldown reduction.
Well, with Renekton, it's kind of weird because his ulti is one of the few ultis that gives base HP, I think, or gives HP
Yes.
in addition. Like, I'm pretty sure him and Nasus are some of the only few who actually have that. So it's one of those things where typically you build a stair, like you try and go for a bunch of items that have HP on top of them. So things like Cleaver, what you call it, the Spear of Shojin. You can even go Stair Axe if you're super greedy. But it's one of those things where building HP on him, like unlike most kind of Fruits characters, it's one of those things that actually massively benefits him. And I say unlike, even though realistically the only one who doesn't build that much of it is Darius.
I want to point out, right from level 5, Vayne was maxing out for W. She does realize that she needs that max health damage because they do have quite a tanky comp.
Well, it kind of makes sense as well, though, because in this team comp, like, who realistically is going to be like, unless you're using Q for harass early game, it's one of those things where you don't really need it that much.
Well, I will say, while Team Delta is doing a very good job, Kaisa is on 2 items, so she is starting to come online now, and as long as her front line can hold it out, she can dish out a lot of damage.
Like, right now, this third item from Kaisa has to be a Blade of the Rune King. Because if it's Nashers, then Uno's going to take, like, no damage off her. Like, he might actually be able to heal off her damage. It'll be one of those, what you call it, though, one thing from Robot Chicken, where it's like the one guy throwing rocks at the wall, and it's like, your attacks deal no damage versus me.
Food for thought. Executioner build next item. Gives you a little bit of penetration. Do you think it would be enough?
I personally don't like it that much.
A summoner has
We'll have to see how this play out.
Getting attack speed.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can
Like,
see the
what-
Vayne's actually almost in second item here.
Like, what it needs to be from Kaisa next is Blade of the Rune King into something like an Infinity Edge. Because she needs a way to get through that giant beefcake wall.
Well, if she can chunk out with the Bork passive activation, I should say, the cut through the health, you might actually be fine with the Nashor's 4th item and just allow your passive to kind of dish out that damage.
I'm pretty sure if she goes for Nashers, though, she'll actually cap on attack speed, making it heavily inefficient. Because you have that, the Ginsu's passive, the Bork, so you'll get pretty close, and I'm pretty sure you might actually go over it. Like, if
It
was
might be
lethal,
worth it.
If it was lethal tempo, I entirely agree with that. Even though her going press the attack is actually going to be pretty huge. Like, press the attack plus Bork just takes Mundo down to 40%.
Yeah, it is quite dangerous there. Quite deadly. We did have a reconnect, I did see, so it might not be much longer. Stick with us, chat. We're almost there. We're getting there shortly. Just under 24 minutes in the game, and I mean, what a game this has been, honestly, right? It's been very back and forth until that last team fight, where obviously you can see that about 5k gold lead now onto Team Delta. Huge team fight. I mean, it was incredible, and you saw SandNinja. You know, they lost the fight initially, but they thought that they could make a re-engage, and that didn't turn out very well, did it?
It'll be interesting to see where the picks and bans go for game 2, though, because it's one of those things where, like, that one of these comps can work, so we might not actually see that much deviation between the picks and bans between game 1 and game 2. Mind you, I will definitely say this, though, like, despite the fact that Renekton had a lead, I'd much rather a different top laner and mid laner.
Astra, who were you saying should build an executioner?
Kaisa.
Yeah, I actually agree with that on second. Look at that. That would be perfect against this window.
It would be.
So much value out of these dives. He's using that ult to the maximum potential.
I can also understand where Mirror's coming from here as well. You do need that Bork essentially to cut through. My curiosity is just the little bit of penetration you do get from the Executioner build. I'm wondering if it would be enough combined with the anti-healing that maybe it might just be enough to actually be able to cut through and stop this Mundo from just kind of train wrecking your entire team.
Well, it's one of those things where I mentioned earlier that a few patches ago, Mundo's ultimate received a giant buff, so to speak. Like, before his ulti was like, if you get Grievous Wounds, you just completely destroy him. But then it's like, okay, we're just going to buff his ulti, so even if you don't have Grievous Wounds, then you get massively punished. But if you do have it, then it's only slightly punished.
The last time I saw this comp that SandNinjas Academy is running, Galio was running tanky items, and Zac was there. Here it's Zac frontline.
Yeah, I'm actually slightly confused as to why Galio didn't go after Chug this game.
We do have a dragon coming up here. It is the Infernal Dragon, so both teams, again, once they get this, could be a second one for SandNinja Academy, but we'll see who's going to get it.
Right now, SandNinja's in a bit of a weird place, though, because they're trying to...
we got an engage going in, and that's just going to go right down. Full on engage. Zac's going in. Galio going to pop the ultimate right after that. We got a second fight going on in the back line right now. Kaisa actually still trying to get out of there. She's actually getting dove onto right now. Galio's actually going to go down right next to that. Kaisa going back in, but she's low health. She's actually going to go down. Zac's going to go down as well, and sure enough, that is an ace.
Yes, this was pretty scary by them. They tried to fight in the flank where Nivea could just pop all of her abilities, and it backfired massively.
SandNinjas was focusing tanks at the start of that fight, and they were a man down.
Like, there's 3 rules in this game. Don't pay Singe, don't pay Track That Book because it has a level 18 Garen in it, and do not fight a control mage at choke point. And they kind of violated the 3rd rule there.
And very critically as well, I mean, you saw the Kaisa, she was jumped on very quickly, had no appeal there, so like you said before, Kaisa being the only damage on this team, there's not a whole lot you can do if your Kaisa is forced out of the fight right away.
Yeah, Renekton was frontline. He's pretty squishy though without...
Well, it's actually one of those things where you have to give giant props to Mundo during that last fight, because he literally went right in Kaisa's face and told her, like, okay, what are you going to do to me? It's like, he didn't necessarily have to kill her or anything. He just said, like, okay, I'm just going to distract you for like 20 seconds while we deal with the rest of your team.
Absolutely.
Like, props on that.
And the first Infernal is always the best one. It gives you the most value. So both teams actually have a single Inferno now.
I'd actually argue that hurts Sand Academy quite heavily here, because they needed 3 Infernals to stand a chance late game, and well, luckily an Infernal is going to spawn in 3.5 minutes, but at the same time, like, they really wanted to dull 3 of those.
Yeah, it is very critical to get it over. I do see that, yeah. I'm wondering if it'll help enough. I mean, you definitely need anti-healing in this team, and so far it's the only anti-healing IMC, which makes me a little bit worried. I would like to see at least for Renekton get a Executioners as well to kind of aid in that, and Mundo just kind of sit there.
Yeah, meanwhile Mundo has Thornmail, which should make things pretty interesting for their, well, I want to say like single threat comp.
I wonder if Squid knows that all of these items are targeted to killing him. Is Squib gonna be diving?
Oh, we got a dive going in here. Here we go. Team fight's going down. Got one. Aftershock's gonna wear off on Lawless, and that's gonna be Kaisa down to the front line. That's an Anivia ulti on 3 members. 2 members going down. 4 members going down. There's 1 member left. This is an exit. He's surely the solid. He is down. And that is the ace, ladies and gentlemen. Triple kill going over.
And this could very
that's the ace
right now.
Look at the death timers. That's it. There's nothing you can do. They are gonna take this minion wave that's still fighting its way up. They're gonna grab this inhibitor here, and
like if they want to
take grab
pushing right now, it's maybe 10 seconds on Kaisa, but at the same time, it's like
they do have ways here. They can go for it. They're not quite going for it yet. Kaisa and Alistair are up. They might look to make a push here. Might make like the defense. Galio's almost off the top. Here we go. We got an engage. Kaisa's getting slow. She can't get out. She's gonna actually go down to the Navy. That's gonna be Q going down. And that is game. Galio's trying to do what he can. He's going to taunt 3 members, get a knockup as well, and a Q in there, but he's going to go down as well. Double kill going up to the Vayne, and that's with Zach also getting shot down by the Vayne. They're going to try to get another one, but they're not going to get it. Triple kill going up to the Vayne. Can they get a quadruple? They're not going to get the quadruple, and that is going to be game going over to Team Delta.
I really love the plays from Imagine. He was always in the right spot at the right time, putting down massive damage.
See, I thoroughly like what Squib did for the late game for them, because he basically just sat in the middle of right in Kaisa's face and said, okay, you're not going to do anything this game. Like, he was probably the MVP for that team.
What an incredible game that was. Honestly, I couldn't ask for much better. Whew.
Yeah, that was a
Thoughts?
very exciting game.
Very,
I'm
very exciting.
disappointed that we never got to see a big Galio play.
I will say he did get a few good ultimates in there, but sadly they just weren't at the right times, and it wasn't an optimal fight for Sand. Yeah. I mean, I even saw an ultimate where he did get I believe a 3 or 4 minute knockup, but it's just when you're that far behind and it's in a certain location where it's not going to benefit your team to fight there. It might be a good ultimate, but what's it really going to do for your team?
It'll be interesting to see what happens in game 2, though.
All right, so looking at the composition we just went with, what do you think that SandNinja Academy needs to change up in the ban phase, picking bans to give them a better edge?
They need to ditch both of those solo layers. Like, I know Renekton had a lead early, that kind of thing, but it's one of those things where it's clearly shown that they need another buddy for Kaisa.
Faker, what do you think? What do you think would be good for them to switch up going into game 2?
I actually really liked their comp. I don't think the comp was the problem.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
Delta gave up. No. SandNinjas Academy gave up too many dragons, and that was a huge problem because they didn't respond when the dragon was contested.
See, for me, the biggest problem with their comp is that they lacked, it was one of those things where the other team, if they got any sort of lead, then they just stomp over them. So they kind of had to win early. But at the same time, they showed they can't. If you have a Zac that goes 0-0-2 early game, then you're not exactly doing your job in this comp, if that makes sense. You have to have that Zac loaded up with stuff.
Oh, very well, very well.
See, when never mind.
Yeah, I just like to see if they get rid of the Galio and replace it with some sort of high DPS character.
When SandNinjas Academy actually were ahead, even though they had the late game comp, when they were ahead, they were trying to shut down Imagine's kill streak, and Imagine always had the jungle warded, and Imagine always got away, and that was impressive in my eyes.
All right, well, that was game 1, everybody. Team Delta took the lead. They are 1-0 right now. Next game could be the deciding factor. We will be back in just a few moments for game 2 of season 1, SandNinja versus Delta Independent. We'll see you guys in a minute.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Man, what a game, right?
I had a lot of fun watching. I hope that the next game will be just as exciting. I wonder if there'll be another late game comp. I'm thinking SandNinjas might go for some cheese.
Yeah, I didn't like how many tanks there were, honestly. I think they could do with a little bit more damage.
Well, they built their tanks as carries. I would have liked to see some more offensive items from Zach.
Okay, I'm back.
One thing I would like to see from SandNinjas is the support being in the front line. Their formation before fights, Renekton was often in the front line, and Renekton's not there engaged. Renekton should not be in the front line when there's a 5-on-5, because if you look at the comp, he's the follow-up.
Well, again, this kind of goes back to my original theory, where if they had a second threat on their team, then it would make the support's job way easier, because instead of defending their main damage source, you could just go into the front line. Like running a 1 damage comp nowadays is pretty scary. Like it requires so much precision that it's simply not worth doing.
Yeah, but I think the main damage source was not Kai'Sa, and Alistar was defending Kai'Sa. He should have been defending Renekton.
Oh, it definitely was the main damage source. Like, it was literally an 80. Like, Renekton does no game damage to the rest of their comp. Yeah, he had a cleaver that game. Like, that is not damage.
Alright, yeah. My bad.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back prepping for game 2 of the first game of season 1 Style Esports. Casters, are you ready?
Yes.
This is it. This is
Give me
what
that
we've been
lobby.
waiting for.
Give me
I will
that
grab your
loading
invites
screen.
now. I'm getting you guys in here now. Oh shit! All right, well, hold on. There we go. Mirror, and get your butt in here, and then we'll get Revive in here as well. Hope you guys are doing good in the audience and the viewers, the chat down there. Hope you guys are feeling well. Oh, this isn't working, is it?
Full.
Yep, invite you again. See if you can get in here. Okay, I popped in here. All right, chat. Let me hear how you guys are feeling tonight. Honestly, game 1 is very exciting. The cast for me and my crew here. We had a good time. We were just talking about it during the break. A lot of fun.
We're doing best
A
of
lot of
three,
yelling.
right?
It is best of 3, so this could be the last game. But if SandNinjas Academy can pull out the win, then we will be going to game 3.
Well, it's one of those things, though, too, where if Delta wins, it's actually going to set them up quite good, because I've checked. I haven't necessarily checked, but, like, beating one what looks to be one of the harder teams, it sets them up pretty well going forward.
And there it is, the Kai'Sa. I was expecting this band to come out. What a big pick. Still with the Katarina, too.
Is that fear I smell?
Yeah, Kai'Sa band immediately. Well, it's one of those things where,
Oh.
Yeah, banning the Kaisa after your ADC didn't perform too well on it is one of those things where it's like, it's kind of like a slap to both sides, if that makes sense. Like they're basically saying like we don't want the enemy AD playing it, and we don't want our ADC playing it either.
I'm expecting a
Yeah.
Caitlyn ban soon.
I'm absolutely
Oh,
livid.
Vayne's
It
ban.
could
Never
also-
mind. Never mind.
Gonna keep the Vlad bans. Oh, and the Anivia ban.
Haha,
This all-
there's the respect.
Maybe feeling that Anivia was a little too much.
This almost has to be a first pick Zyra right now. Like if it's not a first pick Zyra, then they're just gonna take Zyra on the other side.
Hmm.
And
All right, we actually have the Akali coming out first pick.
ooh,
Well,
Spicy.
if this is indeed going mid lane, then this is kind of the agency I was hoping for.
I like me some Akali. Fun to watch. I noticed that when I started playing, she got the disengage, that little jump back, and kept dodging my skill shots. I didn't know she had that when I came back to League.
See, I personally like this Tristana pick quite a bit, even though I only think it's going to be a dual flex and not a triple one. Because if this Tristana goes into Akali, from what I can tell, it's a pretty bad matchup. Like, much like every other assassin into ADC matchup, the assassin will just hit a point where they just one-shot them. So, for me, I'm almost certain this is going to be a top lane / ADC flex.
There's the Caitlyn he wanted. Alright, so far we have the Akali, Caitlyn, and Morgana Hover coming over from SandNinja Academy. It is going to be a lock-in as well. And so far we have the Tristana and Jax for Team Delta Independent. Waiting for the third pick now.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of support they go with this.
It's gonna be Coachella on the Caitlyn. It is
Like, if this-
secondary.
If this is a Tristana ADC, then there are only a few supports that do decently in Morgana right now.
It's going to be a last-second Zyra pick. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not.
Well, that's definitely one of the picks I was talking about. Like, Morgana's Black Shield may be useful, but unless you're building pure AP, like kind of like a solo lane one, like there are a few supports who can pop that thing, and Zyra is one of them.
Alright, well, we did have the support come out, as you said, and now we do have the possibly solo laners coming out. Jack's going to be a solo laner, but also could be a jungler, so we do have a flex pick coming in.
That being said, though, I wouldn't be surprised if this Jax indeed goes top, because Jax as a jungler is pretty, like, I want to say he's, like, bad or anything, but he's, like,
Not optimal.
Think carefully, my friend.
like, he's one of those characters who's just, like, it's like, why play him when you can play something else?
Fair enough. Jungler might have a little bit more skill on the Jax, but we don't know yet. We don't know much about these guys yet.
I think
The
we might
Braum man
see
is actually pretty interesting, though, because it tells me that they think this Zyra is going somewhere else.
Could also be flex mid, for sure.
Training.
So we'll have to look and see at this. A couple flex picks going on. Tristana also very well known as a solo laner now, thanks to EU. So we'll have to see.
I'm hoping for a
I remember-
strong ganker from SandNinjas Academy. Look at the difference between last game. We're seeing Akali, Morgana, Caitlyn. These are all strong early game picks. Their level 6
Well-
spike is going to be strong.
Well, for me right now, what Sand Ninjas need is hard engage.
I agree.
Silent death.
Like, whether it's from top lane or the jungle, they just need something that kind of has like a go button. Like, Sejuani's banned though, so it's gonna be interesting to see who they go for. Like, the only real hard engage left in the jungle that's even remotely S tier is Gragas right now.
Alright, looks like we have an Ashe hover. Last 2 seconds is going to be picked, so looks like it might be a Tristana solo lane.
It'll be interesting to see where that goes though, because it very well still could be Zyra mid. So, like, we're either looking at mid laner or support right now.
Yeah, Tristana versus Caitlyn is pretty rough level 1.
Or
So
I'll rephrase, a top laner or support right now.
I would like to see this Ashe go in the bot lane and maybe just start on the solo lane. And we have a Nico coming in now.
That's probably top lane if I had to guess, but I'm not entirely certain about that.
Caitlyn top lane, Nico AD carry.
It would be the weirdest thing that I've seen.
This is true. This is true. Last pick coming in from SandNinja Academy now. See what we're gonna get. Finalize our composition here. It is gonna be the Echo. Looks like it's gonna be an Echo jungle. And it might be a Nico or a Kali top. What?
Okay, I do not like this comp one bit.
I agree, and it's what you said. There is no engage. With the most engage you really got, sadly. Unless you have a Nico.
See, this is something that I was kind of hoping they took. Like, it's one of those things where I think both comps are pretty close. Like, when it comes to, like, overall easy to execute kind of those things where I'm looking at SandNinjas right now, and I'm just saying to myself, like, all of their engage feels too slow. Like, it takes way too much time to...
Food for thought, though, because one thing I was just realizing with this composition, they do have good kite back potential.
Indeed.
So they could look to kind of set up these slightly easier engages on the side of Team Delta, have them engage, and actually kite the fight back, and maybe turn it around. We'll have to see how that plays out. 10 seconds still spectator delay. Looking at Team Delta's composition, I mean, that just speaks aggression to me. You have a Tristana who can jump in, you have a Zac who can jump in, a Jax who can jump in, and Zyra's going to have a fun time in the middle of it.
Well, with the whole thing with Team Delta, though, you have like 3 characters who base, because you have Zyra with her ultimate,
this is true.
Zac with her ultimate, and then you have Zac with his E. So, like, any one of them can initiate a fight right now, and because the other team has no tanks, it's like whoever they target is just going to instantly die. Yeah, SandNinjas, though, they're kind of suffering from a bit of the problems before, where, like, it's one of those things, like, I wouldn't necessarily put them on a clock, but it's, like, when they hit late game, their comp is going to be incredibly hard to execute.
Echo's fine on a clock.
Well, I'm sorry?
Echo on a clock? Never mind.
I get the joke. I get it. All right, we have a comedy here. Comedy genius on the casting board. All right, so
For a zillion, but no, that's too much to ask.
no Zillion in the composition, sadly. All right, so I'm gonna go down the line. Faker, you first. With these two teams, which one do you think will take this game?
SandNinjas has more to lose here. I think that they've adjusted to an early game strat because they respect the other team. And so I think they're going to be a lot more serious this game. But still, 50-50. I like both of these comps and I like both of these teams.
Okay.
It's going to be a lot closer, though.
All right. Mir, what is your prediction for this game?
Say, I'm actually going to make a prediction because you kind of went 50-50 on that. Like, I think Kira is going to pop off this game. Like, you may have seen before. You may have seen yesterday as, like, or the last game where Kira was only, like, middling. Like, this is a game in which Kira could very easily end up with, like, 10 or 15 kills.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, we'll have to see.
Also, Delta obviously is going to win.
Why is that? What's your reasoning for that?
Oh, I just meant to say, like, what do you call it? It's like one of, like, you were asking for prediction, so I was like, okay, like, I'll just. So I said, like, okay, like, Kira's going to end up, but I didn't say who specifically was going to win, but my prediction is Delta.
All right. So it looks like we're split again.
Look at
we do have
from AJ. That teleport shows that he's showing respect. He wants to go even in lane and have a really strong early game, mid game.
Yeah, I personally do not like the heal on Tristana right now.
And we'll have to see what's going on with that. Spectator delay is over. We're prepping to load into the game now, guys. We'll be in there very shortly. Last minute thoughts, I will say this game's going to be interesting. I don't know how much I actually see from the SandNinjas Academy. However, like I said, they do have kite back potential. They could actually look to turn these fights around, but we'll have to see how this plays out. Kira did an excellent job on the Vayne last game. We'll have to see how they play on the Ashe. It is looking like they're going for the more aggressive build with the lethal tempo. We've been seeing more and more recently. And yeah, like you said, Heal and Tristana, we'll have to see how they utilize that. They could possibly utilize that pretty well. There is a split push potential on the side of SandNinjas Academy.
Which team wins the skin advantage?
The skin advantage?
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem. It looks like it's 4-4. And our game is live now, so 50-50. However, Akali does not have a skin. But the Akali's Akali. She's pretty hot either way. So I'm going to give the edge to them here.
I don't know. Nurse Akali.
Oh, I'm not denying that skin is not great. But even Akali without a skin is pretty nice. So here we are in game 2, guys. SandNinja Academy versus Team. I was hoping you guys were going to finish that and make it cool. Yeah, Team Delta Independent. My casters were not taking the hint there, but we are out in game 2, and we'll have to see what's going on here. Might actually have a little bit of fighting going on in the beginning.
This is actually a pretty interesting thing, though. Yeah, because we got Echo win Dark Harvest, which is, like, I'm not too sure if that's common, but it basically means that he's going to be going for a full AP build this game.
Hang on, I'm being yelled at by chat again. Thank you! This is why I don't like streaming while I'm casting. I forget to do the stream things. I appreciate the assistance. Now back to the game.
Minions have spawned.
Also, the first dragon is Cloud, so clearly the RNG doesn't want the early game fights to exist.
Yeah, so it is a Cloud Drake to start off, and honestly, who would benefit more from this? Because both can benefit. I mean, you have the side of Team Delta who's gonna obviously be able to engage better with it, but you also have SandNinjas who can kite back easier with it. Let's see who's gonna get that. Right now, just have a little bit of trading going on. Echo doing a full clear of the red side jungle as well as Zach mirroring that.
Yeah, jungle presence this game is going to be a bit different than last game because both junglers basically just want to hit 6.
This is fair. Both junglers do have a little bit of impact in lanes as well early, but we'll have to see if they can find the right opportunities for that.
It'll also be slightly interesting to see where both junglers go as well. Like, with Echo, if you go mid lane, then Tristana can just pop W and get away. Jax is kind of the same thing with his ward hop, so I want to say Echo's kind of forced bot lane, whereas Zach kind of has more freelance, if that makes sense. Like,
Zach's getting pretty low in his jungle right now, but it is Zach. He does do Zach things. Heals up with the blobs pretty well, and Dark Binding gonna land. Quite a bit of damage going on. Wow, that's gonna be a flash actually forced out and a heal
that
on the
is
side.
for nothing. That is pretty massive.
Zach here in the top lane, very low health. Not gonna get too much done.
Oh, Zach taking a bit of minion damage though, which is pretty big.
Yeah, so let's talk about this trade in the bot lane real quick, because that was 2 summoners for nothing.
It's 2 summoners for nothing, and at the same time, it also means that they can't push as much. Like, Zach just showed top side, so now they can't really push up at all.
Yeah, so far looking good. And it looks like in the top side too, they're also being shoved in as a Jax kind of farming under his tower, so we'll have to see what can go down the mid lane. Maybe they can get an advantage there. So far the gold is relatively even, about a couple hundred off.
burning through some potions.
Dark Binding gonna land on a minion. You hate to see. Crucial though, Zach is here. Might be looking for a gank. He's coming in, gonna land the Q here. Can he grab onto something else here to pull him back?
Black Shield, that's not going to work.
Black Shield is gonna deny that, sadly, but gonna apply a little bit of pressure in his lane and.
Oh, meanwhile, mid lane, Echo attempt.
Even a W confused.
Didn't look like Echo had the time to do that.
He's just making his presence known.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing too. It's, when it comes to jungling, you know, just being there and showing yourself can apply so much pressure to the lane and just give your laner that much of an advantage. So we'll have to see how this plays out.
It's one of those.
Oh, Chisana going all in. Hold the thought. Bomb's gonna go in. Fourth auto going out. This is gonna be a free kill. Actually, can he find the right one? He's actually not gonna find the right one. It's gonna be a flash. Nico's gonna get out of line. Zach is here as well. We're actually looking at the top lane though. Jack's getting very low. Gonna try to farm on the tower. Getting very low here. Full health Kali. He's gonna back under this tower. Critical. Oh, we got a fight going down the bot lane here. One more auto will do it. He's gonna flash forward, and that's gonna be first blood going over the Pachella. Can they get a second kill here? Knight's gonna go out. Actually, I'm not gonna quite get the kill. There's actually gonna go down to the support. I hate to see it. I can tell you exactly how. That flash was critical. Flashing past the minion line, forcing Ashe to actually get kind of trapped up within the minion line and not be able to actually get that last auto out was crucial.
Like, I don't blame Kira at all for doing that, because if I was in their shoes, I'd be doing the same thing. Like, you have to trade there.
Yeah, you gotta.
Fault Pink was trying to get that kill. It looked like Pink was down.
Yeah, what a intense play. I mean, they did come down to the wire, but it did look like SandNinja Academy, as they would be more proficient in that 2v2. As you can see, they have 2 kills now. They are over 1,000 gold difference. About a 1.3k gold lead now for SandNinjas, and got some trading going on the top lane here. And Akali actually gonna go all in, has the ultimate. Gonna get some damage out. Passive is procs. One more ulti. Gonna miss the second half of the ulti. Jack's looking to trade back. Not gonna be enough though. Akali's gonna get the Q and gonna get the kill.
See, this is a much better early game.
Indeed. Now, this is a very different game than we saw from SandNinja Academy last game, where they were the ones down early and they were the ones kind of being pushed back. And as you can see, it's completely opposite. Not quite gonna be enough damage there. Clutch hold on the heal.
Yeah, Delta getting pushed back in every lane.
Sorry, minion. You can see the goal difference.
Delta behind on CSS.
Get about a 500 gold lead in the mid lane. Also have about a 500 gold lead in the top lane as well, and the bot lane about 600, 700 gold difference.
Well, it's not just that, but it's the tempo as well, because right now the bot lane is going to move over a dragon and get that for free.
Absolutely. Gonna be spotted out here, but not too much they can really do about it.
It's like a non-contest.
The late have to give up dragon.
Yeah, absolutely. Next dragon's gonna be up in about 5 minutes. 2 more minutes for Shelly. And Echo. Zach's not gonna quite walk into that time shift. A little bit of trading going on, not too much. Gold difference now sitting at about 2k in favor of SandNinja Academy. Good black shield.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's kind of like the previous game where the Zac kind of has to get priority now.
Man, looks like we got some fighting going on. Ultimate's gonna be popped by Yumi. Can they get the kill? Darkbind is gonna land. Big kill, gonna go to Pachella. Zach's trying to get out, very low. Can he get out? Doesn't have a jump, doesn't have flash. Passive is gonna be popped, and that's gonna be a kill. Who's gonna pick it up though? I would like to see the Echo actually grab it here. No, Nika's actually gonna take it for herself.
I can understand that entirely though. Like, now this Tristana just does this in lane.
Did not see Glockius coming up. That rotation.
Jax trying to go aggressive again. Akali winning out in this trade very heavily, and Jax, we're saying you're welcome a little bit.
Yeah, that matchup is actually pretty heavily Akali favored early. Like, Jax doesn't win, like, I want to say most matchups until he has, like, 2 or 3 items.
Mm-hmm. At the very least, a Triforce to kind of give you some standing ground. Getting pushed in again. Jax trying to go aggressively again. Gonna land a stun. Negate most of that trade. And
like, if Akali lands an E, then she can just dive him under tower.
Jax jumping forward. Taking more poke again. Dark Binding in the lane. You gotta think this is gonna be a kill! Going over to Purchella. Ignite is down. Stun is down. Root is down. And that's gonna be a free kill. Not gonna quite land that trap, but auto's gonna go out. That's gonna be a double kill going over to Purchella. Oh, but hold your thought though. Zach is in the top lane. Trying to make some aggressive trade. He is kind of by himself. His team's coming close. Can he get the team help before he goes down? He's kind of dodging out, but Akali's gonna get the kill. Akali's gonna flash away. Might even get a double kill here. He's gonna get the double kill. One more Q will actually do it. One more auto. Gonna get the double kill, but Akali is sure to fall for the Tristana here. One more auto will do it, and that's gonna be that. 2-for-1 trade in the favor of SandNinja Academy.
See, this is one of those plays where, like, I'm Akali just sitting on her tower. I'm spamming the laugh emote. Like, Akali just took their lunch money.
And now, and that is first tower. Oh, he's going out for Nico. Tristana gonna critically jump out of it. He's gonna land. Gonna get all 3 hits for the cube, but Tristana jumping back forward. Gonna go aggressive. Gonna force the flash out of her.
Actually, be careful.
That's gonna be that. Nico might be overstaying her welcome here. Tristana is there, but actually gonna finish the. No, not gonna finish the recall. She is gonna stay in lane. We gotta keep track of that. Echo here, looking to actually create aggressively with the Zac. Zac gonna pop the ultimate, try to get out. He's gonna stay to try to flash for the health and take his red buff. Will actually manage to get out. I want to point out real quick, it is now 9-1 when it was just 3 kills to nothing.
It's 9-1. All the gold is focused on the wrong people. Like, if the gold was on the Echo, then it would be a lot more. It would be a lot less terrifying. But the fact. Like, you have 3 kills on Akali, you have 4 kills on Caitlyn, and then you have Nico who basically farmed 5 plates by herself. So
oh no, Jax not again. More Akali Jax trading going on, and we clearly see he's winning this. Ultimate is not available for the Akali, so he's not threatened by a dive, but he's actually looking to go aggressive again, and that's going to be the Shuriken landing, and she's going to go right back in. Flash going to be used by the Jax, and he's going to get the safety, but that's a flash burn for no reason.
Yeah.
Oh, hold the thought, Zax coming in. Can he get the level Q? He is actually going to pull Nico right back in. Nico's going to pop the ultimate. Not going to land on anyone. And that's a free ultimate used. Gold difference, almost 7k.
Oh, Ash taking
Dark Binding gonna land, and that's a Q actually going down. Snipes all the way down there. Echo and Zac trading in right now. Echo needs to get this shield. Red buff running on both players, but nothing's gonna come of it. And you could see how much this Zac is being pushed out of his own jungle.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, in a way, you kind of have to feel bad that Zac's probably going to go 0-2 in this series. Because I doubt anybody's going to play him Game 3 after this.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's going to be a Dragon going over to SandNinja Academy. Sorry. And there's no vision on the side of Team Delta, so that's going to be a free Dragon.
How many times has Kira ulted this game?
I want to say 0.
I have not seen one yet. But
like, it's one of those things where Delta still stand a chance because, like, they can scale back into this game, but at the same time, like, the gold is literally on the wrong people for them.
you can see, yeah, 2 huge carries with gold bounties on a 550 for the Caitlyn and 150 for the Akali. And Nico's sitting on 1 kill, but hold the thought. Zac's back at it again. Belshir gonna help the Caitlyn a little bit, but they're knocked up. not gonna quite hit, but Sandra's gonna buy a little bit of time. Echo is coming in, gonna get the stun actually. Might actually even get the kill here. One more auto will do, and that's gonna be a kill going over to Aether Fire. Can they get this? Ultimate go shot! Not gonna quite do it. Nico gonna pop the ultimate. Is actually gonna stun. Not gonna get the passive is pop by the Echo. That's gonna be a kill going over. Echo actually has to ult too soon, but the auto crit from Bruchella is actually gonna take this. It's now 12-1. That was a 3-0 trade.
Oh, meanwhile, top of the lane.
This is gonna be a dive. Akali does have her ultimate available, and it looks like it's just gonna be a free kill. No, first ultimate pops, and second ultimate execution damage. One more auto would do it, but she's actually not gonna get that auto out. Jack's gonna be at about crazy.
Sorry.
And not quite seeing the damage properly. 12-1. And look at this gold lead. That is a 9,000 gold difference.
Yeah, look at
Echo's coming in. He's looking to get another kill, but 2 versus 1, not quite that strong.
like look at the individual gold as well. Like it's 2k on each of the carries at least. Like 3,000 difference between the ADCs. That's massive.
Yeah, and you can see it just in the item difference. Look at the Caitlyn. Has her Infinity Edge completed, has her Berserker's Greed completed, and is building into her second item while Ashe didn't even have her first item completed.
It'll be interesting to see where this Caitlyn goes, though. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they go Rapid Fire Cannon in this game.
Darkbinding gonna land. Nagana actually getting pinched here, but Bruchella with the insane crit damage is gonna pick up the kill there. And that is Shelly picked up on the side of SandNinja Academy, and I don't want to be that guy, but what can Team Delta Independent do at this point to try to turn this game around?
What they need to try and do is slow down the pace of it, because it's going way too fast. Like, 13 kills in 16 minutes, like, they kind of have to figure out a way to stall this one out.
And as you were talking about stalling the game out, Shelly is popped in the mid lane. They're just going to pick up this tier 2 tower in the mid and get one more dive off. Get some damage on the inhibitor tower. And that's going to be that.
Oh wow, getting that charge is actually pretty important. Like, it's going to heal back up to it thanks to the charge.
Oh, hold that thought. 2v1 in the top lane. Can you land a trap? Not quite, but the Echo looking to try to get in there. Zac is here. Might be able to slow him down. Ultimate not going to quite finish up the kill. Zac getting very low. Does not have the passive. He's going to go down to Bruchella. Can they get a second kill here? Echo looking to go in. Going to pop the ultimate so it doesn't go down. Darkbinding going to land on Tristana, but she is going to proc the rocket jump. And Q it, sorry. And he's going to get it out alive just barely.
Meanwhile, bot lane, Nico is taking the free power for himself.
Yeah, and they're just going to get another free tower just for that. And a kill. And Akali. Akali just playing with her food at this point. AJ going insane on the Akali. 350 gold bounty and a 700 gold bounty on the Caitlyn, who is 8-0-2.
What does Delta have to come back?
They have to stall this game out, and they have to figure out a way to, like, what do you call it? Try and make the gold lead less meaningful, if that makes sense.
Dark
Right
fighting.
now,
That's gonna be a kill going over to the Yumi. Uninia. And that is that. Dragon come up in 8 seconds, so the Mountain Drake can only help out with the Baron, which will be spawning in just about 2 minutes here. And Yuna looking for a pick here. Gonna land the stun, gonna land the ultimate. And you gotta think, Dark Band landed as well. That's gonna be a free kill going over. Oh, he's trying to kill, but not gonna quite get it. And that is a free kill and a dragon picked up on the side of SandNinja Academy. That's 3 dragons for them. 1 of each, almost. 1 anyone, 1 Inferno.
Lagius with
Yeah.
12 assists, no deaths.
yeah, this is one of those games where if I was playing it, it would be like GG next.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen some comebacks in this far apart, but The only thing is, it takes a lot of skill, and Zach is going to jump in here, trying to get one kill on the support. Is actually going to pick it up there. Squib is going to get one kill himself. Oh, but the ultimate using the Caitlyn, though, actually going to get the kill there. Trade of kills, 2 for 1 right now as they're trying to get another one going down. Echo going to pop the ultimate. Is not going to quite go down, but he's not going to get a kill either. Coming into the back line, Nico trying to get the kill. Going to pop the Zach passive. Can they get the Ash? Ash is running for the hills. Zach is all by himself, though. He can't do anything. Oh, man. Tristana might be dangerous here, but she's safe. And that was actually a 2 for 2 in the end.
That's one of those trades where if you're Delta, you take that in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
Like what it does, it stalls the game out massively, and now they can't do Baron in like 20 seconds.
I also want to point out very crucially, bounty was picked up from that Caitlyn. She does have an official 150 gold bounty still, but that 700 gold bounty, that was picked up. I didn't see who picked it up, but actually I need to take a look here.
I'm pretty sure it was
It was the Zyra.
Yeah.
And there goes the Zyra. Not the person you really want the bounty on, but at least picking up the bounty in general will be a little bit good, but Zyra is going to go down there, sadly. Kali is now 5-1-2 with a 400 gold bounty, and they're actually starting out this Baron. No vision on the Baron. If you see the toggle I put, there is no vision on the side of Team Delta. They have no clue this Baron's going down. Oh, they are going to pop vision now. They do know it's going down, but look at the health bar. It's down to 4k health. It's down to 3k health. That's just going to go down. Zach might look for the steal here. He's going to jump in. Can he steal this? It's really crucial. He's not going to get the steal. Flash going to go over the wall.
Taking my Caitlyn of all people.
Jack's getting the stun up here. Oh, this is a dead Zach for sure. Actually going to jump off and manage to live. Not quite enough damage coming out from the Akali there, sadly, but you gotta think, they got the Baron, they got the lanes pushed. They just might look to end the game here.
I think.
Yeah, Nico's 1v4 right now and taking in him.
Nico, there she goes. She's gonna pop it. Zyra gonna pop the stun, but not the back coming in. Bruce going down. That's gonna be a kill traded over. Nico's gonna go down. Shutdown gonna go to the Zach. Jax is here. He's very low health, but it is a 3v1. Tristana gonna jump in forward. Zach gonna jump in forward as well. Spell Shield gonna slow it down a little bit. Here comes the slow and the stun. Echo on the back line trying to get all the kills. One's gonna go down, two's gonna go down, three's gonna go down. There's one left. The elbow kill for the Echo, and I think that's that, guys. TP's coming in. That looks like it. There's only 2 members left. Tristana and Zyra. I don't think they can do it. They might be able to pick up the Echo, but I highly doubt it. They're gonna take Nexus Tower number 1. That's gonna go down. Zyra looking for it, but the Dark Brand is gonna land. That's gonna be deletion of the Zyra. Next down here, but it's gonna matter. That's 2 Nexus Towers down. That is the Nexus open for Team SandNinja Academy. They're gonna take that down. And guess what, guys? We have game number 3 coming up.
Yes! GG! I'm so glad we get to see a game number 3. I really liked the plays from Glockius this game. I think the Dark Bindings were on point. The presence to rotate down from bottom into the fight near the blue buff was a very good rotation.
For me, I just did not like the play of their like. I was praising Squib last game for the stuff that he was doing on Mundo, but seeing him on Zach, I just hate that entirely. Like, it's one of those things where the Zach had very little, if any, pressure in this game. He was like, he'd jump in and then he'd basically do nothing.
Man, and where it looked somewhat one-sided for game 1, I forgot to switch over my seat. I apologize, everyone. It looked somewhat one-sided of the other game. It felt like more of a stomp this game. I mean, I think they had a total of, what, 4 or 5 kills, opposed to maybe 20?
Well, even going to, like, damage graphs as well. Like, it's one of those things where I mentioned before the first game started that Kira is kind of like the battery for that team. Kira had 3.6k damage in that game. That was, like, to put in perspective, like, Caitlyn had 15k, Akali had 14k, Nico had 10k. Like, 3.6k damage for an ADC is like that's not what you want out of what is expected to be like the core of your team.
It took a long time for Kira to get that Blade of the Ruined King, and we see 5-level deficit at the end.
Yeah, that was definitely a game. It definitely felt one-sided. Every single lane was winning on the side of SandNinja Academy. I can't compliment them anymore. They played an excellent game. And thanks to them, we get taken to game 3, which will be live in just a moment. We're going to take a short break, guys, and we will be back for game number 3. See you there.
Smite. Aether got the smite on Baron, right? That was critical.
Or actually, Caitlyn got this might. Yeah, the Baron was secured by Caitlyn.
Ooh.
Yeah, because Echo is on like 40 HP there.
I think that Baron's what got them, what solidified the win. That was the nail in
Now,
the coffin.
I just do not like the Zac play in this series. Like, if that pick gets taken again, it's just going to lose. Like, I don't care what they have to do. They just have to ban that thing out and get it away from everybody.
I'm glad I got to see some Echo. I don't get to see too much Echo. Well, back to my idle games for 2 minutes.
Ooh, hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Oh my god, dude, I'm sweating my ass off. Oh man, you look. Sky literally told me, he's like, oh yeah, they usually just go only 2 games, and then the first one I cast is a 3 game. Like, what the hell? Oh man.
SandNinjas Academy, they're wearing their tryhard pants now.
That's for sure. Oh man, what an incredible series so far. I mean, the first game, while it was mostly one-sided, I mean, there's definitely a lot of fighting back going on, but game 2 was just a stomp. There was no fight back until the end.
I do not like Zac in this series. Like, they need to permaban him.
I don't know about permaban, but they needed to get rid of him. Just stop picking him. It just doesn't seem like it's working out very well.
Yeah, warning, playing this character may result in ending your entire early game.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, how are you guys feeling though so far? I mean, as far as casting and everything, and how are you guys doing?
I'm doing good. I'm down for a 3rd game. Both games were actually a little shorter than I expected. I thought they would go on for longer.
Oh, I'm not.
Well, the first game was decent. All right, we're about to jump back in, guys. Here we go.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with game 3 of the first game of Style Esports Season 1. We have SandNinja Academy versus Delta Independent. We had 2 really exciting games going, and I can't wait to see the final game of the series tonight. Game 3. How are you guys feeling?
I want to know what the audience thinks. Who do they think was going to be the final victor?
Well, we'll get that in a second. I want to see how you guys are feeling about this right now, because going into it, I was expecting just a 2-game series, and that's what I was told too. But we seem to be going to game 3 with a very hard fight back from SandNinja Academy.
After seeing that last game, I do not want to see any more Zac, because it's clear both teams do not know how to play him.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Faker? How do you feel about the team comps, and what do you think needs to be changed overall from both teams?
I really like how SandNinjas switched it up to early game comp. They lost in the early game, then they chose an early game comp, and when they had a lead, they capitalized and capitalized and capitalized. And I think SandNinjas Academy, they're good at closing out games. That's what we can draw from this most recent game.
Well, it was definitely an incredible 2 games for sure. Last game felt more one-sided than anything, but it's about to be game number 3, guys. It is about to be do or die. So we're gonna see what's going on here. I think we had a little mix-up on joining.
I'll leave and you can reinvite.
That can work here. Oh, they left. Okay, you can jump down. Okay, wow. Hang on. We need to set this Glock. Can you come down, please? Get the invite out. So, yeah, I mean, everyone in the chat right now, I hope you guys are having a great time. I hope you guys aren't too cringed out, I'll say, from our casting.
Invite revive is OP.
Definitely are, yeah. Trying to. Waiting on the players to do what they need to do so I can actually send the invite. Yeah, no, I hope you guys are having a good time. I mean, we're at a blast over here. I think I can speak for both of them as well. I mean, I'm sweating over here. You guys can't see me, thank God. But it's hot up in here. My brain is hurting from trying to think of all the words I had to say in a very fast pace, short amount of time.
You've been doing the most talking. You've been doing the most. So I appreciate the effort you're putting into maintaining the hype and letting us see these fights evolve. And I'm appreciative of the insights from both of you on the insights, because on the meta, on the champions, because I'm kind of like a newbie here, had that League of Legends itch, coming back to League of Legends again, and I really like seeing the play. I really like listening to the analysis and getting back into my League of Legends groove that I've just been missing.
All right, so we should be getting in here shortly. We're just doing ready checks now. Once again, thank you guys for watching and tuning in. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys are having a blast like we are, and I hope to do this more in the future for you guys and see your guys' faces. Not actually, maybe virtually, but yeah, we're just having a good time here, and hopefully we can grow this community with you guys and have a good time together. Again, I want to say it out. I do have the chat open for Twitch. If you guys want to chat, but guess what? We don't have time for that because we're jumping into Champ Select.
Is that fear I smell?
All right, once again, we do see the Katarina coming out. Seems to be a very big ban. Might be a main from someone. I had to switch over the names again before they start yelling at me. I forgot about that. Give me 1 second. You guys go ahead and talk about the pick and bans.
Well, now that the side selection has changed, it's one of those things where if they do the ADC bans again, I wouldn't be surprised for a first pick Zaya.
I'm absolutely livid.
Like, that was one of those things where I was suggesting last game and they went with something else, but... Oh. Okay, they're just gonna make...
Sharpening my feathers.
Okay. So we do see the Vayne ban coming in. 2 AD carry bans, actually, on the side of SandNinjas Academy.
Okay, they're banning that guy, so that's interesting.
Let's see what the last ban is here. Will it be a 4th AD carry?
The only real safe AD carry left, like, the only real safe AD carry is Ezreal left, so they're either going to first pick it or it's going to be something like Ezreal or Khan on the other side.
Delta Independence with the first pick.
Alright, so we do have 3 AD carry bans.
At this point, it has to be Ezreal. Yeah, I do.
Caitlyn's gonna come out.
I do not like this pick that much. Like, it has to get ahead early.
Interesting. I would like to see some more pressure in the bot side, I think. And wow, the Draven pick coming out.
Okay, that takes
Nice.
cojones.
Okay, so Caitlyn on Puchella on the Caitlyn last round had an amazing game on it, very incredible. I don't even they might have died at the end there, I can't remember, but looked like a clean game from them. Their Caitlyn was taken away in this chance select, so Puchella is saying you can take my Caitlyn, but I'm gonna stomp you anyways with the Draven.
Ooh, Malphite Darius, is this season 3?
This
You
might
had
be
another
the this might be that infamous Malphite jungle I've heard so much about.
Very possible. AP Malphite is incredibly strong.
Yes, for those unaware, there's this one solo queue thing that's going around nowadays. It's AP jungle Malphite, where you get a runic echoes and then your ultimate just does like 1,000 damage to people. It's pretty hilarious to watch.
And we'll have to see where that goes. It also could be a support Malphite. That is very possible, and probably unlikely to be top lane, but it is also a possibility as well.
Seeing Lysandra pick, though, makes quite a lot of sense in this comp, because you have Malphite and Darius who both just want to, like, run into things, and then Lysandra with her W can just say no.
I don't think we'll see support Malphite against Black Shield.
This
Like-
is probably true.
It's technically doable with both Nautilus up. There's no reason to take him like that.
And I want to point out something here. I do see the Yasuo ban, which I think is very smart. You do have this knockout Malphite that is very potent together with him, as well as how the Gragas composition is. Can also use that with a Malphite. So I do like that ban.
It's
Sure,
also
man.
one of those things as well, because they took Darius. Like, Yasuo is one of those characters who you don't want to take into Darius, but at the same time you don't want to give them onto the Darius team, because Darius Yasuo is a pretty annoying comp to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Windwall would be quite beneficial.
Think carefully, my friend.
Or not against Darius.
I mean, oh no, yeah, you're right. I was
Hmm.
thinking that SandNinjas Academy could have. What am I talking about?
Alright, we do have the Braum band coming out as the last band for SandNinjas Academy. Trying to take down that support role a little bit.
I'm saying the bands are good here. The bands are good.
And Renekton's actually be the final band coming out now from Team Delta
Okay.
Independent.
See, if I'm them, I'm taking Rakan right now. Or, well, I'm taking Rakan on the other side. Yeah, over here, what they need to do is grab their jungler and try and get a counter pick top lane.
Alright, well. Let's just see if the last picks are coming through. And that's a Karthus coming through.
Woo! Karthus!
Okay. Well, that is a jungle
I
pick.
love this.
Yeah, I think we can be clear about that.
Ah,
It's also
Yeah,
one of
very-
those things.
You've got
Karthus is my man.
It's one of those things as well that actually does quite well into Malphite, assuming this is Malphite jungle, because Malphite, like, he's pretty useless pre-6, because, like, what does he do? He has, like, a Q slow, that kind of thing. So Karthus is pretty decent, as, like, he can out-farm Malphite way faster than he does.
Two things I want to point out right now. One, we are waiting for the last solo laner for SandNinja Academy, but I also want to point out the Lulu pick. Now, this is about to be a very skillful bot lane. I tell a lot of people that I talk to who play League of Legends, when it comes to the bot lane, it is hard to actually hard counter one another because you have a double lane, so your support can prevent an AD carry matchup, and vice versa with the AD carries preventing a support counter matchup. But what I want to point out here is both the Lulu and the Morgana. They play very key roles in this bot lane. While the Lulu does counter the Draven pretty well, you do have this Morgana that has a spell shield. So it's going to come down to timing of abilities. And can Lulu actually break this black shield from the Morgana in time to get the polymorph onto the Draven?
Look at Kira taking Ignite. 2 Ignites.
Yeah, he's probably going to change that. It's
Yeah, I
one of
would
those
think
things-
that.
Top lane is going to be very interesting to watch, though, because if Darius falls behind, then he doesn't really do anything this game.
I also want to point out real quick that is a ghost on Xerath. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
that's
it's
pretty
what he
common.
wants to take.
Like typically for those kind of mages like Xerath, Valkot, it's either Ghost or Barrier, depending on your preference.
I miss the original
Mm.
Xerath.
Versus the Lysandra is what's worrying me. I feel like, with the Lysandra there, you might want to grab the cleanse just to be safe.
Well, he did swap over to Barrier, which is
Okay, he did
pretty
swap.
good.
All right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that
kind of
could be
one of those
beneficial.
things. Like
Yeah.
it's one of those things where if Lysandra gets anywhere close to you, you're probably just gonna die anyways. But at least with Barrier, you can protect against the Karthus ulti.
All right.
Xerath used to be kind of like Xin, just this long-range artillery. Now he's more of a fitting the mold of AP carry.
All right, we have 2.5 minutes to talk about these two teams. So I'm gonna go on the list. I'm gonna go backwards actually. Mira, we're gonna start with you this time. Both of these team compositions, how do you feel, and who do you feel wins this game?
See, for me, it's kind of weird because on one hand, any team with the Karthus is kind of like it takes close to heart, so to speak. Like I was one of those people who back during season 5, I was like a solo lane Karthus player. Like I'm just gonna do like PvE that kind of thing farm until 6, and then
Oh, you're one of those people I
That
didn't like.
kinda-
Okay.
yeah.
Ow.
But at the same time, it's one of those things where the team comp surrounding him just doesn't make too much sense. Like you have a lot of single target stuff. Like you have Lysandra who's single target, you have Camille who's single target, you effectively have Morgana who's single target. But like it's one of, like it kind of falls in the same thing as before, where they just don't have that much late game. Like what is Draven gonna do against a Malphite who, assuming is as like if he's smart, he'll build armor this game. Yeah,
All right. Faker, we're gonna go over you now. What is your opinion on these two team compositions, and who do you think will actually take? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get your take on who you think will win this this game. Sorry, Mira, go ahead.
For me, it's Delta easily, because if
Okay.
they scale or if they wait until late game, then they just take over entirely. Like nobody's going to be stopping Darius if he builds full tank, or Malphite if he builds full tank as well.
Okay. Faker, how do you feel about these two teams?
Academy is going to take this game. They are favored in the solo queue rankings, and we saw last game they know how to close out games. And look, Glaucius on Morgana is a support to be feared. He knows how to land those bindings, and with a Karthus ult to help, that is a fearsome bot lane. I want to see Karthus get fed. I want to see Aether carry this game for SandNinjas Academy to victory in this best of 3.
Okay. Oh, I do have the I have the name switched again, but whatever. We're about to go into a game anyway, so
5,
that's fine.
4, 3,
All right, so 3 seconds.
2,
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are loading into the Rift right now. It is now game 3 of the best of 3. First game of the season for Style Esports. I hope you guys are excited. We are excited to cast this game. Can't wait to jump into it. It's going to be exciting.
Woo!
We're loading in now.
Okay, this is pretty interesting.
What's that?
Well, the rune choices. Like, you have Comment on Malphite, which is almost suggests he's definitely going AP. You have Press the Attack on Camille, which is slightly unusual. You have Conquer on Darius, that's pretty standard. And Press the Attack on Draven as well. That basically means that he's just, like, there are 2 kind of runes for Draven. You either go Press the Attack or Klepto. And Press the Attack basically suggests that he's not going to see this lane as being that easy.
He also just suggests that he just wants to stomp it. The Skin Wars, that's the true competitive league scene. Okay, looks like the jungler's runes this time are incorrect.
That is hilarious.
Well. Alright, we might not be able to do a remake here, though. Looks like I might be stressed for time.
Denied the remake.
That is mildly hilarious, though.
All right,
the
so-
idea of a Comet Malphite jungle not being check runes.
Yeah, I'm curious what he would actually want to take, but we'll get back to the game in just a moment, guys. We are waiting to see how this is going to play out, and yeah, I mean, not even 18 seconds in, we have a pause. What kind of crap is this?
Like it would also,
Refund.
it would almost have to be Aftershock for a full tank jungle Malphite. Then, like that's the only way that makes sense.
Fleet
Journal?
footwork Malphite.
Well, to be fair,
No.
I've been known for doing stuff like that in the past.
This is true. This is true. I've heard this. All right, we're back on the Ritz, guys. We're not going to have a remake, so they are going to be stuck with the rune pages that they chose, voluntarily or involuntarily. Either way.
Luckily, it's not actually the worst thing for Mal.
It's
Like-
not. Yeah, he depends on what he wants to go.
Like he could very easily go Runic Echoes and just one shot them if he wants to. Even though I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't really
What are
understand
your
how
opinions?
Mayflipin's gonna.
What is your opinion on him building tank while having Comet on? For a slight early game advantage with the Comet.
Minions have spawned.
It kind of makes sense. Like I prefer Runic Echoes in a tank, but going straight up full tank just doesn't make too much sense.
Okay. Well, Dark Bind is going to be cast, not going to make a mark. And that'll be that. Yeah, I forgot to do that again. I apologize. Chat is actually doing a great job of keeping me where I need to be. Thank you. I need that mode on here where I can switch it during the game without, or like before I hit the scene and actually just switch it. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just going to switch it and that's going to be that. Thank you, chat, once again. You guys are a lifesaver. And we're in the game now. Not too much going on right now. Just a little bit of trading, per usual, in the beginning of lane phase. And we're going to get a little bit of a trade there. Not too bad.
I'll be interested to see what this Darius' secondary is because he clearly doesn't have bone plating, which is pretty massive in 1v1 trade top lane.
I'll have to take a look into that. And we got a lot of trading going down. Actually, an all-in going down. One more auto would have gotten the kill. Does have heal.
That is pretty massive.
It is very massive. Definitely a health advantage going over now to SandNinja Academy. And
I misspoke as well. Darius does have bone plating and 2 seconds cooldown. So standard staying in top lane.
I will point out, Camilla is winning these trades, but you can see Darius is making sure to grab every CS that he possibly can. Not gonna quite land the pull in. But that's okay. But Caitlyn, I mean, you gotta think, most matchups, Caitlyn is a counter to Draven, but Dark Binding is making it very good for him and making it very stressful for Caitlyn. Yeah. He's doing a very good job here.
They might even get a full plate off this, which would be pretty massive.
I'm gonna have to wait one more wave for that, but yeah, it looks like they might be able to get it next wave here if they can push it hard.
Yeah,
Ooh.
top lane is going to be something to keep an eye on, though, because it's basically a race till Triforce with these two.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's looking very bad for this bot lane so far, especially against a Draven who really wants to get the ball rolling right away.
Raven, with his speed boost, definitely dangerous to give an early lead.
That being said, though, it's not actually the worst thing, because, like, unlike the last game where you had Ashe with no ways to escape the binding, in this case, Caitlyn at least has some mobility.
This is very true, yeah. Oh, Karthus in the mid lane. Looking for a kill, not gonna quite get it. Is gonna get the Dark Harvest proc. And that'll be that. No, somebody's using that. We got an action going on the top lane there now. All in from the Camille. Gonna land the stun. This could be a kill going over. No ignites. It is double TP. That's gonna be a flash. Flash forward as well as first blood over to the Camille.
That is
played by
huge.
AJ.
A little bit of poke in the mid lane, not too much. And now we have to keep our eyes on the junglers, because it is a lead now for the Camille. Very strong duelist. And we'll have to see if
Caught it.
Karthus can do anything.
Does not engage on Glock. Probably because of the spell shield.
Oh, here comes Malphite. There
Malphite
goes
is
Malphite.
here. TP coming in from the Camille. She does have a kill. Did not buy yet though, critically. She is coming in. Oh, it's actually gonna be...
Lysandra.
Yeah, Lysandra TP actually. Sorry.
That is
Nothing gonna be
surprising.
done there. Flash is gonna be used by Malphite, however.
That is one of those things that I'm just not in favor of. Like, for the most part, this entire game is kind of dictated by a bunch of characters who have extremely powerful level 6s. Like, you have Camille, who has the ulti to pin down an opponent. You have Lysandra, who basically has the same thing, except ice related. And then you have Karthus with the level 6, like, nuke, so to speak. So, TPing in when you're not level 6 just doesn't make too much sense.
Props to Kira for calling off that fight onto the Draven when he was taking off like that. Seems like they knew about the teleport.
And I want to critically point out too, that was a teleporter expended from Yuma. Oh, hold on, we got a fight going down. That's going to be a flash burned by Kira. She's going to get out alive, but barely with her life. And we get a trade going on the top lane. That's a 3v1. No flash on the Draven though. Sorry, the Darius, and he's not going to get out alive.
I think that was
Red Rover, and the whole team over.
not finding.
Now, like I said, was going to be critical to see how these junglers interact in the top lane, because no flash on the Darius. That's definitely a lane you want to gank again. What I was trying to point out before was there was a TP used by the Lysandra to get them to the bot lane, try to make a difference in that play, and they actually missed most of an entire wave. And you can see the CS difference in the mid lane now, about 10. So that's going to make a mark.
Well, right now, I can't see the experience. Oh, never mind. Yeah, Karthus took 2/3 away to level 6 right now, which is pretty massive.
Camille getting out, barely doesn't have much mana. Darius trying to grab in. Can he get the pull? Gonna get the Q out. Get a little bit more damage out. Not gonna be too much going on. We'll force Camille back.
Yeah, Karthus is gonna hit level 6 first off this red buff, which should make the game a lot more scary for everybody now.
Okay, opting to freeze.
Oh, got a bit of trading going down in the mid lane. That's a chunk taken out of Yuma.
Malphite going for... Oh, Malphite, you can do it. You can do it, Malphite.
Yuma's gonna have to come out. Not gonna quite get it, but the ultimate from the Malphite gonna be flashed away, but the ultimate coming down. That's gonna be a kill to the Malphite. The little
The red buff.
Imagine!
That's gonna be an ultimate going down. Not gonna quite kill the Malphite. It's gonna get the Dark Harvest proc at least, but more of a consolation prize there.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the scary things about having a Karthus in the game, though, because it's a lot like the certain, like, what do you call it, like, Cho'Gath was his Haldi and Urgot.
Oh, hold the thought. We got 2v2 coming in. Caitlyn Ignite taken down. Gonna go down. Glocky is gonna pick up the kill. And that is gonna be Lulu going down. She's very low, but is gonna make it out alive. Darius now trading in the top lane. Camille trying to trade back a little bit. Gonna get a better trade in the beginning, but that passive from the Darius might be get the Q. One more auto might get enough. He's gonna ulti. Not gonna matter. Camille's gonna pop the ulti. She's gonna go down anyways.
That is huge for Darius right now, because he's already up like 20 CS. Like, even with all the resources that they put into the top lane, Darius has a 100 gold lead, which is pretty big. Like they sent 4 people up there. Oh, meanwhile, Sandra going on the flank.
We got a fight going around the dragon here. see who's gonna get it. SandNinja Academy is here first, and they are gonna pick up the dragon. Oh, Lissandra going in. She does have ultimate. Not gonna pop it yet.
That is surprising.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Looks like she could have actually just ulted the Lulu and actually gotten a pick there, but gonna opt out of that.
Well, the trick with that is that you want to ulti first and then use the W once they're out of it, because it makes landing, like, the ulti is point and click, so it makes it way easier to land that follow-up CC.
And Lulu's not the best target to burst in.
Yeah, but she was out of position very keenly though, and Lissandra trying to go in, doesn't have the health, but Karthus is here, ultimate gonna be used. Karthus going in and needs to land one more Q. Not quite gonna land enough damage.
Karthus ult?
Karthus
Nope.
does not have ulti.
Oh.
Not for another minute.
Oh, Draven wanted
And
that.
Draven missed by a country mod.
It's now 2-3. About a K gold up for SandNinja Academy. And Morgana's waiting in the wins here. Not gonna land the Dark Binding. Very close, minion getting away. Ultimate gonna go down from the Malphite, and that might be a kill, but not quite. And that will be the kill from the ultimate from the Xerath there. Gonna pick up a kill. It's now 3-3.
This is pretty huge for them now.
I thought Xerath ult got nerfed, but
No, Xerath ulti got a buff recently, so before what it did is it was kind of like the Tom Kench ulti, where it had like a different range for each thing, but now it has the same range for each thing, and it just gets, I think it gets like an extra, a tiny bit more at level 16.
I remember his range got nerfed a lot, like 7 years ago, but looks like now he's acting to like the siege type damage. I love siege.
This is one of those things though where it's becoming a bit imbalanced on the map, so to speak, because right now top lane and mid lane for Delta, like, they're way stronger right now, whereas with bot lane, like, the Draven is massively, so you kind of have the top half of the map versus the bottom half of the map.
Alright, we got Q2, hold the thought. Karthus is here. Darius trying to trade a kill real quick. Gonna pop the flash out of the Karthus. Gonna get ulted by the Camille. Can't get out of the cage. Camille looking to get that kill, and she's gonna pick one up.
Well played by Aether.
Yeah, not sure what the Karthus was thinking there, but he's gonna go down the end.
And we
It's one of those things though where despite all of the attention bot lane, well, despite all of the 2v2 shenanigans bot lane, like, Draven isn't actually getting that much off of it. Like, he only has one plate right now.
Be intense to see that gold cash in. Gun down the mid lane, but not too much.
Oh. River.
Might have a fight. Not quite though.
Oh, this is AP Malphite as expected.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, normally I wouldn't look forward to this stuff, but it's one of those things where, like, nobody survives Malphite burst this game. Oh, speaking of burst. Okay, that was a
Ultimate gonna come out. Malphite ulti going down as well. Actually gonna knock him out. That's whatever. Can there be two? Trying to predict the movement, but not quite gonna get that last ultimate hit out. And the Sandra's gonna be forced back and have to get out of there.
See, if we're ignoring the, what you call it, the Zac shenanigans, Squid's been on point this series.
Yeah, I think we can agree with that. Draven looking very strong right now. Up a lot of CS right now. Does have a BF sword as well as a Vampiric Accept. So he's looking pretty good in lane. You gotta think, if he cashes in at this point, he's gonna be a rich man.
I'm just checking now, he has 321 stacks.
Yeah, that's a lot. We'll have to see how this game's gonna progress. It is about a K difference still, and we got some fight going down in the top lane, but Camille's gonna win out the trade. She does have her passive. Give her that shield against the damage type that she takes.
I'm disappointed that Karthus only has one kill so far. He's doing great on CS, but he's not getting any
Well, it's one of those things where the later this game goes, the less impact that kill is gonna. Like, if he gets killed in the next 5 minutes, it's 1,000 gold.
BF.
When there's like 20k gold on each team, but if this extends for like 10 minutes, it's not actually gonna matter that much.
I want to point out, Draven just got a second BF sword. This man is throwing swords left and right.
It's actually not too surprising.
I'm
Alright, Mountain Drake is up as well as Shelly, and we might have a fight going down. Dark Binding. We're kind of going to pop the Zanya's there. Let's stopwatch.
Oh,
Gonna get
that fight almost on his ulti right now.
Caitlyn ultimate! Not gonna fight ultimate though. Gonna pick one up. Can they get a second one? Dark Binding not gonna land. Ultimate coming from the. Gonna actually take the kill there. Can they get another kill here? They're trading in to the Draven. Double TP coming in. Ignite taken down. Not going to take him down though. That's 2 TPs. One cancel from the Camille though.
Oh, it was.
Now she's going to trade back.
Cancel though. It's actually stopped by Darius. You can't cancel TPs now.
That's what I meant. And that is going to be now 6-4 in the kills, and just like that, that 1k gold lead is gone, and we got more trading going on now. Camille got the little shield going. She got the ultimate. It looks like she's going to get a free kill here. Darius actually can't get out of here. Did not critically get that heal at all, and he's also possibly going to go down. Going to grab the flash. Going to flash in place, I think that's what I saw. But it's going to be a kill going over anyways. Lissandra is here. Going to pop the ultimate on the Caitlyn. Draven surely going to follow up. Going to get this kill. It's a free kill for him. Lulu, you are surely to follow. That's a double kill going up to the Draven. That is a double cash in.
And just like that, Draven got like a 1,400 gold, and yeah, he's sitting on 2,300 right now.
SandNinjas
That is
keep
a
back
lot
in
of
this
gold.
game, and they even have gold. Wow. They were looking shaky before with Darius having something now it's the
Like, I still got this game pretty close though, because it's one of those things where you don't want Draven to be your main carry, if that makes sense. Like, I take Caitlyn over Draven in a 5v5 any day.
had to give that up.
Yeah, that is 2 dragons going over to SandNinja Academy. Shelly is still on the board, only for about 3 more minutes. Want to see if any team wants to pick that up. Could be some really good pressure around the map.
Yeah, Camille winning the quote-unquote Triforce battle is pretty huge though, because now Darius can't really do anything to her.
Darius went for a stinger.
Well, Triforce battle.
And a little bit more trading going on. Camille opting to get out slow. Not gonna be enough.
Oh, well, Sandra's being clapped on, I think. Oh, never mind.
She's alright over there. Dark binding in the land of Lulu. This could be a kill right now. Draven looking for it. One more auto will do it. That's gonna be a kill. Right over to the Draven, giving him more gold. And now we got another fight going on the top lane. Shield's gonna be broken from the Camille, and Darius going down pretty quickly, and that's gonna be a kill going over to the Camille. Camille barely gonna get out. No, she's gonna go down in the end. Karthus ultimate though is also gonna grab that. Almost grabbed 2 kills there.
Those minions.
See, it's one of those things where right now you can literally draw a line. Like, it's one of those draw a line mini maps, and that kind of shows what kind of control each team has.
Alright, looking at the map now. Darius is gonna get this tower. Not first tower, but we'll still get some gold on the map as well. Some pressure. Is 8 kills to 8 kills right now. About a K gold up for SandNinja Academy.
Top lane is using Delta in this game.
While top and mid, like, this Xerath has been on point.
Yeah.
More specifically, I would like to say Squib has been doing an amazing job getting around the map, and is this going to be a kill? Can he land the CC? Maybe. Look, that's going to be it. One more auto. One more. There we go. Crucella going to get around that kill. Malphite is here though, but not sure he wants to take this fight. Might be able to get the double knockout. Flash going to be used by the Draven. Ignite's actually going to take down the Malphite. Might be a 1v1 trade, but no, it's going to be a shutdown going over to the Morgana.
Malphite.
One more kill will do it. There you go.
1 second up.
Arthas is here looking for the 1v1 kill. Needs to not get stunned here. Draven trying to follow up. Going to get the proc on the Dark Harvest. Not getting another hit. Alright, and it's now 9-10. About a 2k gold lead for SandNinja Academy. They're going to go ahead and grab another tower for themselves. Get that gold lead just up a little bit more.
One big thing to note though is Xerath's build, which is actually quite surprising. Like normally on these kinds of burst mages, you can kind of tell their comfort level in the game. So they'll either go Morello's second item if they're like a bit fearful, so to speak, or they'll go Death Cap if they're super confident. So this guy has Oblivion Orb, which suggests that he may not be comfortable in the game right now.
That's a kill. He's gonna go down for this one though. Malphite looking to get this kill, maybe not. And no, that will be 2 kills picked up for free. Dark Binding not gonna land.
Like Baron is up right now.
Karthus looks like he's gonna go down to the Draven here, or I'm sorry, the Darius, their brothers, whatever. Darius might get the kill, not gonna quite get it.
No.
Waiting's not gonna quite be enough. And Draven lives again, second time up there.
Yeah, things have kind of gone topsy-turvy now.
And double BF still. I love this build by the Draven too. It's kind of like, oh no, there it goes. It's kind of like he's having his 2 swords that he's throwing, his axes, you know?
Like this Draven is 4k ahead of his enemy and 2k gold ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, it's looking very good for SandNinja Academy right now. They're accumulating a very nice gold lead, and we'll have to see what they do with it. Cloud Drake is coming up in about 10 seconds. Could look to get a second one for themselves and make them super speedy. We'll have to see. SandNinja Academy does have control over the pit right now, but they're not going to opt into it. Now you can see they just continue to put pressure to Team Delta Academy. I'm sorry, Team Delta Independent. Look at the Caitlyn trap placement. A little bit of poke damage, not too much. We'll have to see how this is gonna go. Not too much vision inside of them. Dark Binding gonna land. The Sonder going in. Gonna get the ulti in. Gonna get the multiple man CC. That's 1 kill going over. 2 kill going over now. Everyone else is flashing away. Caitlyn used her flash. Now she is gone. And that's 2 free kills picked up for SandNinja Academy. Yeah, this is.
Wow.
You see critically, they got both the jungler and their mid laner. Not a whole lot they can do here, and they don't even have vision on it, so there's nothing they can do about it.
Like what Malphite needs right now is armor.
Follow-up is beautiful on Xerath.
What both Malphite and
Aftershock
Darius need right now is armor. Like they need armor and HP to combat this.
You're gonna head over right to the dragon. Once again, limited vision, they do see what's going on, but not really gonna help them. And that is 2 objectives and 2 kills for free for SandNinja Academy. And I gotta say, they're looking incredible right now.
Xerath up down.
We'll have to see what Delta can do here. They are very behind right now, about 8k. It's about 7k, sorry. Alright, so SandNinja Academy, they have the Baron. They need to push. This could be a really good Baron power play here. We'll have to see. Malphite's coming around the side though. They do not see this happening. They don't have vision on this. They might just get ulted. That's going to be the ult from the Malphite. There we go. It's the first damage. Darius going to get the shot there.
Thunder's bottom.
See, this is pretty massive as well, because with the Karthus ulti effectively down, now they have a bit more wiggle room. Like, you don't have that guillotine hanging over your head with him down for 30 seconds now.
Yeah, Lissandra is split pushing, and honestly, if you were Team Delta, you need to force an engage in the mid lane here. You need to get something for yourself. They have one member down, one member split pushing.
Like, they can't group as 5 right now. It's one.
Yeah, they're not trying to. They're too scared of this Draven, and rightfully so, but I think they can take it. They're going to try. The Ignite's going to go down. Not going to get it. There comes the Karthus ulti. That's going to be a big boom. Not going to quite get the kill. Ah, we'll take it. One kill going for the Puchella. Sidestepping beautifully. Gonna sidestep all of this. Darkbind not gonna land, but it doesn't matter. Camille's on the side. Gonna try to get this kill. Is gonna pick it up by Glockius. Stopwatch gonna be used. Draven is all by himself, and he's gonna go down as well. Draven, Puchella taking up that kill, and Camille gonna ulti in, try to get Xerath here, but is actually gonna pick up the kill and needs to get the hell out now.
And this might just be the game.
Dark Binding lands, and that's another kill going down to the Draven. And guess what? That is it, guys. That is the ace. That is the inhibitor going down. TP's coming in. That's going to be all she wrote. Only 2 towers left to defend this Nexus. And a Caitlyn. Can Kira do it? She's looking for the kill. She's going to get CC. She's going to get locked down. She's not going to do anything. That's the second ace coming in. That's both Nexus towers going down. And that is game 3. Winning team, SandNinja Academy.
Excellent job, SandNinjas Academy. You are the best of 3 champion. That's the first game of Season 1. Style Esports Season 1. A great start to the season. I am so impressed by both of these teams. And, wow. These Dark Bindings, the communication, the follow-ups, great chain CC. Xerath just didn't stand a chance against this late game team comp.
Yeah, it was quite incredible. Definitely a hard-fought game. I mean, you gotta give credit due to Team Delta Independent. They definitely tried their best. They put up a fight, but in the end, it is SandNinja Academy that is the victors of the first game of Season 1 of Style Esports. Congratulations, SandNinja Academy.
And Puchella, of course, with the hard carry.
I don't know if they'll allow it, but I want to bring Glockius into this chat if I can.
Look at how fed Puchella is. 174 CS, 9 kills, 0 deaths. Wow.
Alrighty, so I want to get your votes for MVP of the game here. MVP of the series, I should say. Who do you guys go? Mir, you go.
Today, for me, it's kind of weird because, like, normally you award MVP to the person who was on the winning team. But for me, I want to say that Squib was probably, like, if it wasn't for him, then the series probably would have been a clean 2-0.
Squib, okay. Faker, who is your MVP vote?
Oof, I'll get back to you on that. I'm not sure yet.
Man, I mean, it's a tough decision between Glockius and Pooch. They were both incredible. Those Dark Bindings were just insane. They were hitting their targets almost every cast. But you also have to give to Glockius. His damage output and his positioning in fights was just key in so many of the fights, and the follow-up was just there every time.
I think I'm going to give MVP, and I don't know who it is, but someone on SandNinjas Academy is an excellent shot caller because they were able to get the team coordinated. Those team fights looked very synchronized, very practiced. I really liked the follow-ups. So whoever is shot calling the engages on SandNinjas Academy, that's my choice for MVP.
Alrighty, well, I'm gonna vote mine. It's gonna be Puchella for sure. There's a tough decision between a score, but
that is a ridiculous showmanship.
yeah, absolutely.
And
Uh, yeah, I mean, what an incredible game, honestly. I think Pucella played that extremely well. Obviously, game one did not go the way for them, but I mean, it was just an incredible series, and I think that Pucella played it really well. Even in game one, I mean, I think Pucella tried their best, and as an AD carry, there's only so much you can do as yourself, and does kind of rely on your team to kind of be in a position to allow you to do what you need to do. So, yeah, Pucella, I think is going to be the MVP for this series for sure. I want to get them into a chat here. We're gonna see. I'm still new to this Discord, so we're gonna see if we can get a channel here.
Do it.
Does anyone have mob? Can I drag someone here? Is that a thing? I don't have permissions for that, so I can't do that. Sadly.
We are powerless.
I will. Here, I will.
Did they already leave?
All right. They're probably leaving. Yeah, they're probably heading out. But we're gonna go ahead and do an interview with Pucella when we can get the chat going. All right, in team one. Yeah, so we're gonna do the MVP interview. Let's go do it.
All right. Where's team one? There's a couple team one.
It's Army General.
Oh, thank you.
It's hella clean, and Draven just did his job. Honestly, though, I felt like I was just following up on my teammates, so like we're just kind of all MVP for this one. But yeah.
Mhm. So I want to make a couple comments here, ask you a couple questions as well. So I know Kira did a very good job in game one, but it seemed like you smashed Kira in both game two and game three. How did you manage to do that? What kind of ticked after game one that kind of told you how to beat this matchup?
For one, I don't think Kira is actually like super good. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's good and all, but once we identified that, like we just won lane in one game. You know what I mean?
Right on, right on. Another thing I want to point out. Oh, I'm sorry. You have more.
Yeah, the way their team plays, which is actually really well, is just to play around Kira. So like, even if he's just not like 1v9, if he's just doing his job, it's a really good play style.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Another question I want to ask too. Your support, Lackius. I mean, those
Yeah.
Dark Bondings, game two and game three. What do you have to say about him? I mean,
Dude.
it seemed like his game was just incredible.
The funniest thing is that he hates Morgana. He hates playing that champion. We said
no.
we said you're gonna play Morgana. He said I hate you all. But no, yeah, he's actually hella good with skill shots.
Oh man, so he
Which
seems
is-
like a real team player then.
Yeah, which is why we force him to do it.
All right, last thing I want to ask you for the night.
Comfortable on Morgana.
He's comfortable in anything. He's good.
Last thing I want to ask you for the night. I want to talk about the jungles a little bit because it seemed like all three games. Well, I'll say mostly game one and game two, but partially game three as well. It felt like junglers weren't doing a whole lot, but in game three, we saw the Malphite come out, and we were all concerned that actually might be the tipping point, and his AP Malphite actually might snowball the game. But you guys managed to kind of work around it. How did you guys do that?
Well, for two things, or actually maybe three things. So our jungler did his job really well, just farming and being our insurance for late game. He didn't have to pressure the waves because we were already going to win the lane. And on top of that, him and the mid laner actually coordinated really well to track the jungler at all times. So we knew where Malphite was every step of the game. And on top of that, we actually think Malphite misplayed a little bit. They tried to get the Xerath ahead, which would have been really good, but they're centered around getting Kira ahead. So I believe like he should have just camped bot instead of going mid.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. Thank you so much for the interview. You guys played an incredible best of three series. Congratulations on your win as the first winning team of the season. And that is going to be all.
Thank you.
All right, that is going to be all, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Congratulations again to SandNinja Academy for being the first victors of season one. We will be back soon. We'll let you guys know. And thank you for tuning in. Again, we appreciate it, and we hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Thanks for casting, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you, man.